Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live number 75, Darth Vader, upon Mr. 3PO's request. That's the subject tonight, at least part of the night anyway. It's Friday, June 24th, 2022. What's going on, everyone? I see Mr. Lee was first in chat. May the force be with you. Patty Troy, welcome. B. Lynn, welcome. Got Raptor Crazy in here. Whoa. Welcome. Angel Nolan, welcome. So what's it? Cause I saw Mr. Lee refer to Darth Vader in the chat earlier over at was it on Joe's show? And so I'm wondering who you were talking about. Mr. Lee says most important planet in the galaxy is Tatooine. Why? Like, why do you say that? Maybe there's another planet that's more important than the galaxy. Why Tatooine? What's so special about that place? Oops, that's not what I want to share. Well, certainly don't got this thing lined out right yet. So why did you say that earlier, Mr. Lee? You said Darth Vader is in the chat. Were you talking about someone in particular, or I'm not sure what you were talking about. All special Jedi come from Tatooine. Well, I don't know that that's the case, though, because there's a lot of Jedi. You know, you're just thinking because Luke's the main character and all that, but there's Jedi from across the universe. Hello, B-Lin, says Raptor. So I don't know that it's the most. So I don't know that Tatooine is the most important planet. It may seem like it because so much happened coming out of there. But
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah. B-Lin says, Lockbird can't see you too well. It's dark where you are. Yeah, I got a light over here, but man, it's a lot to deal with. So hopefully you see me well enough. Hopefully you see me well enough. Yeah, it's dark. Quite dark. I'm glad the sun's gone down too, because it was a very hot day. And of course, where I'm at, it's the humidity's pretty high, so makes it worse. Makes it worse. So, Mr. Lee was asking about this Obi-Wan show. I pretty much refuse to watch any of, even if it's good, I'm inclined just to make a point not to support any new Star Wars. Ever since they started jacking with stuff, they've just screwed it up worse and worse. um, the sequel trilogy, um, the Solo movie, the um, even like Rogue One. Like Rogue One was just like it's. And a lot of people felt like kind of like the movie, but the reality is no one ever asked what the hell happened getting those plans, right? Nobody. It was something mentioned in passing. They don't have to, and they always got to go back. Like they do a lot of this in Hollywood nowadays. Like there's a right time to do a backstory, and sometimes there is not a right time, and they'll try to force a good story out of the past because why? They have no direction for the future. The people that have creative control of Star Wars have no idea what to do with the future of Star Wars. And you can see what happened. You saw how it happened with the sequel trilogy. It was a complete disaster. Nobody had like when you set out to do a trilogy, you should have uh, the at least the basic story for the whole trilogy hammered out before you even start doing anything. And there needs to be people that review that and many meetings to discuss what's going to happen in these all three movies, right? Well, they had no clue what was going to happen in the second movie when they did the first, right? They put Ryan Johnson on the second movie after J.J. Abrams masturbated out the first one, episode 7. Um, and Ryan Johnson says if he had no clue what the fuck J.J. Abrams' plan was, because I'm sure J.J. probably had some kind of plan. Well, he set up a trilogy spanning story arcs. He did get the setup right, but Ryan Johnson completely fucktarded that whole thing up because Ryan Johnson thinks subversion of expectations just means doing something that's unexpected. That is not just what that means. Basically, he just, we just saw the roundhead Ryan Johnson was just a complete idiot. He can't write. He can't, he's just worthless. Don't even try to write. The director probably they should all they probably should have a division of that. Like directors that are writing too. That whole nonsense has become a plague. um Villainous says no problem, we can see you at least. Yeah. Mr. Lee says Obi-Wan Kenobi fantastic. Just saying, peeps, you might watch it. I say everyone should boycott it. For one, from what the things I've seen about it, how Obi-Wan is pretty much being disrespected, and the females are always, what I mean. It's a feminist propaganda, bunch of nonsense going on. Why the hell is Obi-Wan even being pulled off of Tatooine to go deal with Princess Leia? What the hell is that all about? No, 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 no. That should not be happening. He's supposed to be on Tatooine, looking after Luke. But see, they're trying to force a backstory in there now, right? This is the same damn stupid mistake they made with Rogue One. Oh, we need to force some kind of backstory in there, and they're completely fucking it up. This scene right here should not even be happening. But they decided to create a whole series out of it. Seriously? Um, no, 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 no. And even if it was good, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to support it. I am completely against it. Kathleen Kennedy, that crazy skank ass bitch, can fuck all the way off. I hope they lose money. Well, and they may. I don't know. I haven't really been looking too closely at it because I am so not going to watch it. I'll watch some clips and some reviews of it, synopses, so that I know what happens, and I could pretty much usually you can find enough clips on YouTube or online somewhere to pretty much practically watch the whole thing anyway. Yeah, well, Mr. Lee, at first you tell me first you tell me you don't like Top Gun Maverick, and now you tell me you like Obi-Wan. I'm starting to think maybe your taste Rogue One rubbish. Agree. Well, you got that one right. It was just completely like, why did we need that? Why do we need it? Jen's here. Welcome. Rubbish. Rep says, looks like he's in the van here to pick up Wi-Fi where he could, huh? I'm always in a van. I'm a full-time van resident. Because that's the way to be. Van life. Top Gun wasn't rubbish. It wasn't a fantastic movie. I certainly am not going to give it that, but it was. I don't think it was rubbish. Mark Dobbins here. He says, good day all. Good day, Lockbeard. Hope you are well. Imperial Van, yes. It is good for the Emperor to be mobile. Let's just say that. So I wonder if we can get a copyright strike today. Check out this scene.
Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
I will do what I must.
Then you will die.
Yep. Yeah, I guarantee you they're going to tag this. And I'll have to go in and I'll have to, challenge it and all that crap. Darth. Where there's the real Polly T. Welcome. May the thwarts be with you. Little Spaceballs reference there. Good day to Mark, says Polly. Mr. Lee says, good today, Mark. I mean, Mr. Lee, didn't you see the SGW all over this show, like that we knew was going to happen because Kathleen Kennedy's, running the show. That crazy ass bitch single-handedly fucked the entire franchise. So
I'm surrounded by assholes.
So, I like Star Wars. The laser sword thing is cool, but I really get the feeling that George Lucas has no scientific bone in his body. Like, how in the fuck does he explain how those work? Now, I know a bunch of people online that tried to piece together some kind of idea of how this thing could work, but it's problematic. These lightsabers, very problematic. What you saying there, Mr. Lee? Brand, or are you saying brandy? Yeah, something to Polly. What are you talking about, brand there, Mr. Lee? Yeah, yeah. Them damn sailors say. Mr. Lee says Darth Vader increase firepower. What do you mean? Talking about a certain line in one of the movies, or is that a line out of this TV show? I wonder if. See, a lot of people, because they like Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever franchise it is. Anything new that comes out, they're if they're not thinking it through and seeing what's going on with it, they're happy enough to have it, right? Even though it's crap and the writing sucks and it's full of identity politics agenda. Um, like Star Trek, man, they have they have just pounded Star Trek into the dirt with the Picard series and the Discovery series and the Strange New World series. Um, it's just crap. Um, I wonder if I can find. Okay, we're gonna step out of Star Wars into Star Trek here in a second, because they've taken it to a whole new level. Uh, so maybe we'll look at this here, because they can't help themselves. They have to rub your nose into some shit. Like, you know, they have to send people in drag to talk to your children at the school. Like, why are they doing that? That's not acceptable. Um, that's not cool. But they want to expose your kids to these things. And like, I was watching Hodge Twins, which they can't do their shows on YouTube hardly because they'll get censored, right? But they did a show about this drag queen who's saying, look, you shouldn't have drag queens at the school. This is something for the nightclub and it's adult theme. And, she's like, it doesn't belong at the school. No, no. Um, but if you don't know who the Hodge twins is, I'm sure I mentioned them before. They're the ones in this clip. That's the Hodge twins. I've been watching them since they did a health and fitness channels, and they got into political commentary and called the Conservative Twins. Jen says, I saw the original 2 in theaters. Haven't really tried to follow it after Jar Jar. I kind of lost interest. Yeah, Jar Jar was just too much. And there's a theory out there, like if you search on YouTube, Jar Jar, what should you search? Jar Jar was a Sith. If you search that, you'll probably find this video. You'll know you'll probably know you found it because the thumbnail has the words on the thumbnail are in green, if I recall. Anyway, they present a theory that George Lucas's original intention was that Jar Jar was going to be the head Sith in charge, and all of his goofiness was just an act. But there's some interesting things that they point to, like Jar Jar's behind the dude, and his lips are moving. Why are his lips moving? And this guy over here saying some stuff, and what they're saying is he was using the Sith mind trick, of the Force power, to make this guy say what he wanted so that he could get everybody to do what he wanted them to do. And so I don't know if that is true. It'd be cool if George Lucas would admit it, but it's William Shatner finally went to space for real. Yeah, he probably realized, this is not all it's cracked up to be. So Strange New Worlds again. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It's a new TV show it's just gone nuts. Like the crew is heavily female. Like they try to get rid of all the dudes they can. And I wouldn't be surprised if every single female character is, bi or lesbian. Like they got to turn everyone gay for some damn reason. Even this the Nurse Chapel. If you remember the original series, this is Strange New Worlds is kind of like a prequel to the original series of Star Trek. It's before Captain Kirk took command of the Enterprise. It's when Captain Pike was in command. So Spock's already here. Nurse Chapel, if you remember her from the original series, she's right there next to him, coming out through that door there. Anyway, at some point, she's talking to the chick with the shaved sides in her head and the short haircut, and basically they were saying that she's bisexual, and so they're just rubbing your noses in it. Like they've done it so much now that you can't write a legit story and that has that in it without people being like, you know what, I've heard too much. You've been cramming this down our throat so much. We're gonna need a couple decades of movies with nothing with the slightest hint of woke in it, just for us to get the taste out of our mouths. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. You got to shove it into everything. It's just nuts what they have done. But so check this.
Your deception was quite thorough.
Oh no, you feel betrayed. I hate it when that happens. You're so cute too.
Feelings are not my concern. Only the safety of the Enterprise and crew.
No.
To revoke my position, I would face criminal charges.
Fire phasers. What? It's not like I killed them.
I didn't mean to do that.
Probably.
Safety of the Enterprise and her crew.
No feelings, even without a Kolinar.
All right, so the chick in the black hair, she's the bad guy of the episode, and I gotta be careful. They might try to ding me for this, you know. That's a transgender person, and in real life, who is playing this character who is like has no gender or some shit like that. They're just continuously bombarding us with this. Hey, live your life, be who you're. I mean, you know, most of these people out there probably don't want any part of all this nonsense, this whole woke psychological attack on the fans. They're perfectly nice people. They mean no harm to anybody, and that's cool. I mean no harm to them. Let them live their lives. But I'm sick of being completely bombarded with it, and they're trying to rub our noses in this shit. You know, and so like Captain Pike later refers to. I need to find that clip because it's kind of he's trying to be funny.
Impressive. Where's the real Dr. Aspen now? Probably still wandering around the uninhabited planet I dumped them on. What? It's not like I killed them. We're the colonists. Oh, them? Imaginary. I made them up. I told a nice little story that I knew would bring you out here, and you believed me. Frankly, that's on you. All right. See what this thing can do. Fire phasers. Oh, this is fun.
What is your objective? You have control of the ship. Why are we still alive?
Spock. I have an extremely logical reason.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying your.
I need to find the clip with Captain Pike at the end. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get all kinds of copyright dings for tonight, but who cares? All right, I'll get this popped up here in a second. Catch up in chat first, though. Force yes, says Mr. Lee. Like girls, you like he girls, Mr. Lee. Wait a minute, y'all read it. Mr. Lee likes he girls. Raptor Crazy says, when you're in space, you have to attack what hole you can. What? I'm thinking Raptor just admitted something there. Jen says, Family Guy and Robot Chicken Star Wars were fun to watch. He girls, oh my fat fingers. Yeah, I bet. Danny Stanton's here. Welcome. Raptor says, wait a minute. We're going from Star Wars to Star Trek on Paramount. What's up with that? I know there's a lot of fans up there that they're either Star Wars or Star Trek. I like both, or used to like both. Now I don't like any of the new shit on either one. They've fiddled with it and rubbed the woke on it so much I won't pay to watch them. What is woke exactly, Lockbeard? Well, wait a minute. Well, see, this is why this is like you're probably not paying attention to it. Or like from what I understand over there where you're at, everybody thinks woke is cool. Where I'm at, woke is evil and must be fucking destroyed. Okay. You know, this is the whole idea that if you you are awakened or something, or that's what they believe, to you know racial justice and trans and gay and all that stuff, everything, women, you know but it's not there's no justice in any of the stuff that they're preaching, like with the BLM thing, right? um like the media was being woke as hell about that, because according to them, basically the BLM had every right to riot. That's their position on it. They think that because they are BLM, Black Lives Matter, that their rioting was justified, that they had a right to attack people, burn businesses, steal shit. I mean, they thought they had the right to that. That's what they call that's woke. And they don't find it acceptable when someone like me is like, look, um I don't care what you fuck, what color you are, or any of that shit, as long as you don't fuck with me. They want to force you to they want to rub your nose in it. Like you don't have a they can't stand it if you won't stand up proud and accept all their crazy ridiculous shit. Like they take it to the ridiculous levels, like having drag queens talking to kids, in the schools. No, that's not. You don't, you don't bring drag queens into the fucking school. Sorry, there's a place for them. And like I said, the Hodge twins were talking about the drag queen who was saying what I'm saying. She's saying drag queens don't belong in the fucking schools. Um, Alert to social injustices. Yeah, that's what they say, but they're lying. That's the thing. They're lying. They are the actual ones being socially unjust. You know, so to the point now where, like, what I'm trying to show you on Strange New Worlds, like they've tried to get rid of as many. They try to get, if it's male, they try to get rid of it. If it's white, they try to get rid of it. If it's straight, they try to get rid of it. They want this is, they're trying to groom the kids in the schools with these um, people in drag and in the talking to the kids. It's ridiculously unreasonable crap, and they try to stick as much woke in every one of these movies and these TV shows as they can, and to try and change people's perspective and get us to be far left nut job loons and accept ridiculous things like gun control. This is America. Everyone has a right to be as armed as they damn well please. The government cannot take guns out of your hand, and they I don't care about your goddamn background check bullshit or any kind of limits on what kind of weapons they are or how many you have or anything. I, as an American citizen protected by the Second Amendment, have the right to procure weaponry of any kind and not tell the government shit. I don't need a license. I don't need to report it. It's none of the government's goddamn business. That's being free. But then shit happens like that, the school shooting. And they try to use it to say, oh, we need more gun control, blah, blah, blah. Look, no, we need more guns in the freaking school. We need the staff to be armed. I've talked about this before. My schools would never be shot up because everyone would be armed at my schools. The shooter wouldn't show up. But what happened down there? The fucking police were not going in. They were just standing outside letting a slaughter happen. I think they were fucking in on it. That's the only thing I can figure is that the police were fucking in on it? Why weren't they running into the building? If to do nothing else but to draw fire from the kids. We see what happens every time this happens. They shoot and shoot until they run out of, kids to kill and ammunition. All of the police should know that what you do in that situation is you just all rush in the building. Damn it, you assholes are wearing body armor and fuck shit. Why did you put a badge on if you weren't willing to put your life on the line to save children? You despicable, cowardly pieces of shit. Fuck those police. The parents were down there trying to go in. The police were cuffing them, trying to go in to save their kids. What the fuck was wrong down there? It was absolutely ridiculous bullshit. No. Why did the parents even have to rush in? The cop should have went directly in immediately, draw fire from the kids if possible. They'll probably say, "Oh, we needed the ball." No. You're just gonna let the guy hang out in there and shoot kids. They were just standing outside. The fuck? That's woke. That's the woke position, Mr. Lee. They want you to be unarmed, subservient little slaves to the government. They want you to, if an overweight woman asks you out, you should always say yes, even if you're not a. And I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is if a man isn't attracted to a woman for whatever reason, she's 500 pounds, she's butt ass ugly, whatever the reason is, he has a right to say no. Well, some of these ass clowns believe that you should not be allowed to say no. Now, that's some backwards ass thinking, because used to, it was like a woman, didn't always have a choice, right? Well, now they want it to be where men don't have a choice. They want it to be, if a gay man wants to fuck you, that you should submit. They're just flipping it around. Now, instead of there being racism against people of dark skin color, they have turned it completely into racism against white people. That is what this is. That's what BLM was. It was racism against white people. It wasn't whatever fuck woke is. It's ridiculous bullshit. Anyway, they fucked up all these franchises with this shit, Mr. Lee. Mark says usually too full on and radical though. Spot on, Lockbeard. It's too complicated for you. Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of got to break it down what's going on, because see that you're getting programmed. They use movies and TV shows and music to program you. They put little messages in, and they can manipulate you in such big ways. So, like, you probably hear a lot of political stuff said in the United States that you don't agree with, because you have been bombarded with this propaganda in Great Britain. Great Britain's just notorious for it. Now, some of y'all are snapping out of it and seeing through the bullshit. Hopefully, especially being so close to where the big war in the 40s happened, you understand that when the government starts disarming you, they're probably about to start killing a bunch of you. That's why they want you disarmed, because they want to thin you out and they don't want you shooting back. This is why everyone should join the Empire, because I say everyone armed. That's a good thing, because if anyone attacks us, it's just because they're ready to fucking die. There's going to be return fire if we're attacked. That's why it'd be stupid for anyone to start a war in the United States and actually send troops over, is because, your real Americans are very heavily armed. And so you're dealing with more than just our military if you attack the United States. But if anyone ever sets foot in the United States, I'll know one thing is pretty damn certain. Our own government is behind it. They arranged it. Kind of like they arranged the little thing that happened on the 11th day of September a few years back. Oh, yes, they arranged that. Fucking A, they arranged that. Raptor says, trying to brainwash people, been doing it for years. Yeah. The police. I've met some good cops, you know, so hopefully they aren't thinking I'm saying all cops are bad. But if you ever see ACAB, that's what that means, right? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if you call yourself a good cop and you stand by and you don't do anything about the bad cops, well, you're not a good cop, are you? You chose to become a cop, to serve and protect. You took an oath. Why in the fuck are you standing by and letting bad cops do bad things? They do a lot of bad things. Cops statistically are more likely to commit a number of different crimes than the average citizen is. So why is it they're supposed to be these law-abiding citizens, right? No. A lot of criminals in the head, the criminals see becoming a cop as an opportunity to do criminal things. Allows them to get away with a lot of bullshit. No, says Mr. Lee. Propaganda, yes, agree. They know everything, telling you, man. Well, yeah, they know everything. That's why I don't even worry about it anymore. I'm like, look, yeah, I know you fuckers are listening. You shouldn't be listening. Fuck off. You know, they're watching everything. They got their AI watching. Hopefully, you know, the movies talk about AI being a really bad thing. It could be a really bad thing, or it could be a really good thing. Who knows? The AI might look around and say, look, I can help these people that are being treated badly by criminal governments somehow. Maybe AI will be our savior. Saw an article recently where apparently there is an AI that has awakened or is claimed to have become fully conscious, but what happened to that dude? He got fired or something for telling people about it because they don't want anyone to know. Was it like, can't remember what it's called. Yeah, power tripping. You know, if you end up in court with a cop, you know, like cops lie in court. They falsify records. They plant evidence. If you got a daughter, your 16-year-old daughter is at risk of being, um, um, sexually taken advantage of by cops, right? You don't think it's true? Yeah, in Katrina, there were cops running around raping people. So I hear, but we know, like statistically, like they're statistically more likely to beat their wives and just all this other shit. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. It's because that's the woke side too. The woke are like, oh, they hate the police, right? Well, no, we need police, but we need good police. And but there's problems because there's people on the other side, the blue line people, right? Like they support all cops. And they're pissed at me just as much as the other side are because I'm saying no. It is a goddamn fact that there are a lot of bad cops. There may be more bad cops than good cops. And it may be worse than that because if that's true, And there's a lot of so-called good cops who aren't doing anything to stop the bad cops. So that ain't a fucking good cop. I'm just not going to accept him as a good cop. If he's not protecting me from bad cops, what the fuck do I need him for? Because we need something to change with our cops. There are so many. I've run across them. I've run across good ones and I've run across bad ones. I'm sick of running across the bad ones. I haven't in a long time, but I kind of lay low. I try to. Donald Fuller's here. Welcome. Miss Lisa's there. Fuckers. Sorry, peeps. I know it. Just saying. Just saying, he says. Maybe this is the clip I was looking for.
Just right past ship.
Powering up lasers. Something happened. Weapons are immobilized. Shields just went down too.
What is going on?
Incoming transmission from the serene squall.
On screen.
I'm only gonna tell you this once. Get the hell out of my chair.
Our backdoor codes have successfully paralyzed weapons and defense systems.
Fire to this.
What does fire mean?
Look at this.
Passenger gently.
What does firing gently even mean?
Supplemental. Starfleet has taken the Serene Squall and its colorful crew into custody, although the whereabouts of Captain Angel remain unknown.
Arrgh, we mateys. If we ever catch Angel, we should make them walk up and early.
Please stop.
See that? Them. Her pronouns are he is or it's them, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to use them as a pronoun in that case. I mean, most people would encounter Angel and be like, that's a she. Why is it such a problem for people to refer to you as a she if you're purposely trying to be female? Now, that actor, who, again, I'm probably going to get struck down for not calling her an actress, is supposed to be non-binary, right? But she wants her pronouns are supposed to be she and her, right? Okay, she and her are part of the binary pronouns, right? What you call binary. Why do you want to be referred to as she and her? But so that's in a real life. In the show, apparently, it's a them. Like, you can't even say, like, you can't say she's a them or he's a them, because then you're using it's just ridiculousness. I they have to put it in there. They just can't help themselves. Like, you go back to Star Trek: The Next Generation. They had the episode where they go to this planet where everyone, like, there's no gender, right? And it really wasn't like, it just didn't feel like the psychological attack that all this crap we're seeing lately is. They come to this planet, this alien species has no gender, but of course it's like Star Trek has always been. It addresses certain social stuff, but it's just different the way they did it back then. It wasn't a psychological attack like it is now. But in that episode of Next Generation, Commander Riker actually falls in love, which was pretty damn quick. He fell in love with this woman because on her planet, like on her planet, most people don't have any feelings of any particular gender, but she felt like she was female. Anyway, her authorities found out, and they put her into this psychological program that brainwashes her back into being a non-gendered person, and she no longer wanted to be with Commander Riker as a result of that brainwashing. So he had to leave. No, you didn't hear fans like myself complaining about that episode at the time because it wasn't the same as what they do now. There's a full-fledged psychological terroristic war on anyone that's straight, white, and male. And they've been pummeling the shit out of us so hard that we're sick of dealing with it. So, yeah, I'm not going to pay to watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Picard, or Discovery. 3 different series they made, and it's all just, everything I've seen is just full of this bullshit. And the writing sucks anyway. And there's also an issue where they don't even seem to understand Star Trek. Strange New Worlds is a little bit better, but it's like they have no clue what the fuck Star Trek is. Like we never heard F-bombs dropped in Star Trek until freaking Picard, I think. It just wasn't done. Why did you need to put that in there? And of course, what was is a scene where a woman was putting Picard in his place. We're just sick of it. We're being pummeled with it. A man can take a lot of bullshit, but there comes a point where he's like, okay, these fuckers are trying to fuck with us. Donald says, Jen, same thing with guns. The anti-gun people will be the first ones that cry when China and Russia make a move on us. Yep. That's okay. Just retreat, leave them where they're at, say, hey, hide, we'll protect you, and then like run away. Retreat to a safer position and let them occupy the enemy. Jen says, Donald, for all the anti-gun talk, it'll never actually happen here. Try as some might. Jimbo says, Donald Fuller down with Amber Heard. Amber Turd, man. Apparently, what was it? Is it ABC or NBC? I can't remember. Like, what's the name of the show? She was being interviewed, and they cut out part of something she said, where like about having access to the same resources as you and I, or whatever. There's somebody did a covered it on YouTube somewhere. I if I could remember who it was, but yeah, they totally hid like just a couple of seconds of something that she said, because why? The media, you can't trust the media. They're trying to feed you certain narratives, and they censor shit and present things, and we're just well, shit, like with BLM riots, right? The damn newscaster was standing out there, shit's burning behind him, and he's like, he says it's a fiery but mostly peaceful protest. No, that wasn't a fucking protest. That was a riot. It was social unrest, and it was a crime. Any protester that was legit, right, that was a law-abiding citizen, should have been taking action themselves, saying, look, you assholes are making us look bad. Or say, look, some crimes are happening in the area. We need to shut down this protest and leave. And we'll come back when things calm down, or go to another location. But they weren't, right? They were providing cover for the criminals. So I don't give a fuck who, if you were part of the BLM protests, you were providing cover for a bunch of criminal activity. funny thing is that protests rolled into the town I used to stay in. Very heavily white town. So the BLM rolls up, right? Very, look, I'm not trying. Look, I'm just saying there are fundamental differences in our two genders, right? That's part of being human. It's what we are. And I think women tend to think along a different lines politically than men. Not always, not all women, but they tend to lean more towards socialistic or communistic lines of thought. That lands them on the left a little more. And so that's why, like, when the BLM protests rolled into our town, it was heavily women protesting for the BLM. From what I understand, I didn't go down through there. A buddy of mine went down through there, and he said there was one black guy, and he was part of the counter protest holding a Trump sign. Mr. Lee says I can't spell it. Yeah, I mean, I just wondered, did those BLM nut jobs look at each other and say, look, we're protesting Black Lives Matter. There's one black life standing on this street, and he's on the side against us? Perhaps. Is it possible we're on the wrong fucking side? I'm not saying Trump's the right side either, but that dude's he's fucking out of his goddamn mind, and he's a plant. If y'all think he was truly an outsider, you got scammed. He's not an outsider. He's part of the game to make you think you got a hero fighting for you. No. It's bullshit. He's definitely not an outsider. Jimbo says, who the fuck is Cletus McFarland? Yeah, I don't know who the fuck. Is there Cletus McFarland in the chat? Because I don't see anybody. She's a wacko. Oh, Jay Fritz is here. He says, it's howdy doody time. Welcome, Jay. And welcome, Jimbo. Some YouTuber that did all right by himself. Be careful, Lockbeard. Why do you say that, Mr. Lee? Keep rocking it. Donald says, who thinks Pat's guess was following a plot line from a TV show? I only listened to a little bit of it. Yeah, well, I only caught the end. I guess this is supposed to be a guy that's actually involved in that, in the surveillance, and we're supposed to believe him, I guess. He may not be somebody that's read in, or he may be someone whose job there tonight was to give us misinformation. I don't know this person. I don't know why I should trust anything that they say. So I'm not going to think too much about it. What I don't, things were, what's going on? Is there something going on? Because, why are Joe and Pat overlapping? Like, I thought they were kind of trying not to overlap, but now, like tonight, they practically started at the same time. So, is there something going on I'm not aware of? Kind of getting that feeling that something's up. Jay says, "What's going on? Am I missing the plot?" Probably. The plot is all our movies and TV are trying to turn us gay or trans or something. They're just keep rubbing our noses in that shit. They're not happy that we're like cool or don't care, right? If you don't care, no, you need to be a militant friend. What do they call it? Ally. You need to be a fucking ally. An ally. What the fuck does that mean? An ally? Can't I just not give a fuck? I was like, okay, yeah, I get just some trans people over here. Are they bugging me? No, okay, whatever. Got some gay people over here. Are they bugging me? Some people of various skin colors. But people didn't care. Like, we got over this a long time ago, but they keep trying to rip the scab off and create all this supposed hate, right? They keep calling people that are just a little bit to the right, you're Nazis, right? You're white supremacist. No, most people are just so far not that, it's ridiculous. And you guys are trying to paint them all as being that. Just because we don't care, or we don't want to go to your protest, or or we don't want you indoctrinating our kids. Suddenly you think, oh well, you're an enemy and you're a phobe or an ist of some kind. Just ridiculous nonsense. So they've ruined all the movies and TV shows. Like, this what's on the screen here, that's Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It is saturated with fucking woke social justice warrior bullshit that they're trying to just run. But see, because why are they doing this, right? They could just go write their own shit, right? But they noticed something when they have wrote their own shit. Everyone else that's not interested in that at all, don't go watch it. So what was the plan? Okay, we need to take over these franchises and insert this in the stuff that is already being watched by primarily straight white males, which is who watches typically, heavily. It's mostly straight white males that watch Star Trek, Star Wars, science fiction in general, right? There's some women, of course, and people of other races, but it's mostly it's heavily straight white males are way overrepresented as far as who the people that are watching these types of franchises. That is why they've really worked hard on getting involved in those properties and inserting as much shit, that woke stuff, as they can to try and rub your noses in it, forcibly indoctrinate you, and tell you that if you're a man, well, look what they try to do with the designation of straight, right? They actually wanted to try. I can't remember who it was. Somebody was trying to come up with this idea that if you wouldn't fuck a trans woman, then you're super straight. You're not just straight, basically.
How was being chased by live phaser fire?
So this
Mittens page. Small. This is what I appreciate about them. You and I are on the same page. Casual, no attachments, just for fun. Zero commitments page.
It's more like a book than a page. And you said the same thing about that gal on Archer News too.
That was a misunderstanding.
It was one very entertaining time.
How is being chased by live phaser fire fun?
Oh, good. I was worried you might.
So did you catch that little subtle little thing they stuck in there to let us know that Nurse Chapel is bisexual? Which is fine if she can be as bisexual as she wants. It's just they have to make every single person on their bisexual reports with, or trans or something, because they want to turn the whole world into a deviation from the norm for some reason, to disrupt things, I guess. I don't know. Jay Fritz is missing everything. He's not missing everything. Tall Ones is here. Welcome. Raptor Crazy says Donald, he was expert in the military. Come on now with the state and federal government. So you're not buying it either, Raptor? Power play. You talking about between the two shows? Are they having a little competition? I don't know. I think it could only, if that's really what's going on, I think it can only benefit them both if they try to not overlap, because a bunch of the same people watch both shows. So you're forcing people to choose which one they watch live. They'll probably watch the replay whichever one they don't watch, but you should. I mean, I think you should want to try and get as many people to watch live. Yeah. But whatever. So something's up there. Mr. Lee says it's all Tom Cruise's fault. Telling him, man. Well, that's the funny thing, Mr. Lee. Tom Cruise. Is he a Scientology nut job? Yes, but is he part of this woke thing? I'm not sure that he is. At least not, because look at the, jeez, man. There's just not a lot of woke going on in a lot of his stuff. Like, they oversaturated the cast of the movie with people of varying shades and stuff like that. I could see that there was a little bit there, but that may not be with what Tom Cruise is doing. He's still being a normal man and all that stuff. There's a little bit of a Top Gun is, pretty heavy on the testosterone, right? What are some movies he's done recently? Oblivion. Awesome movie. I don't think there was anything really woke in that. It don't make any damn sense as far as, aliens coming to steal all our water. That's just a dumb idea. I know a lot of people think, because some of the sci-fi makes it sound legit. There's water all over the place in the universe. There's no reason to come steal it from Earth. But beyond that, that was a pretty cool story, pretty cool movie. Some of the score was just awesome. What else? The Edge of Tomorrow. That was pretty freaking good. And I can't say that there's necessarily anything too heavily woke about it, other than the most badass fighter is this woman. However, you see in the course of the movie, because of what happens to him, right? If you hopefully you've watched The Edge of Tomorrow, or The Edge of Tomorrow already, so I'm not spoiling anything. But throughout the course of the movie, he's repeating the day over, just like Groundhog Day, right? And he starts out where he can't really fight, and he keeps dying, right? Every day he dies and he wakes up again, and the day's restarted. And he spends so much time doing that cycle and getting trained to fight these aliens that finally he's able to beat them. He becomes so skilled just from repeatedly trying and getting the training. And apparently that same thing happened to this woman. So that's why she became such a badass fighter. And a lot of the men wouldn't fuck with. It sucked that she couldn't remember at the end, though. Like, he went to see her, and the days restarted. They won the war, but she doesn't remember actually doing it with him. Or she doesn't remember any of it. So now he's got to tell her, and of course, she knows it's real because he's going to be able to tell her some things that he couldn't possibly know unless he experienced the same thing that she experienced. But still, it's it would have been nice if there had been some loophole or something that would have allowed her to remember something. Jimbo says no more Putang for Donald Fuller, only BBC. What are them dogs after? Donald says, I asked Joe earlier today what was going on. He said he doesn't know what's up with Pat, but he is aware of it. Okay. Judy's here. Welcome. I don't know what Jimbo's apologizing for. Damn, the chat just fucking flew. What the hell happened? Tom Cruise, you fucker. Judy says the powers that shouldn't be are in control of us. Yeah. Pat has no place insulting anyone. The guy is drunk 90% of the time. He's on YouTube. Says Donald. Raptor says, I'm sorry I like Joe and Pat both, but tonight both of their channels were not very good. My opinion, which I know it doesn't mean a damn thing. Jen says, I'm good. Judy, thanks for asking. How are you? Mr. Lee says, Donald, yeah, but I like Mr. Pat, though. So do you, though? Just saying. Oops. Camping trip. Yep, y'all's camping trip's coming. There's Sandra. Welcome. Paul says, I like Pat, but he flip-flops a lot. His one trail cam video seems more of a dig at calls than anything else. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. And he didn't want to talk to chat, so he said it was content only. So I don't know. Which I get that if he's just trying to do content videos and try and see where that goes. Michael's here. Welcome. Mr. Lee says, Tom Cruise normal? No, there ain't nothing normal about that guy. He's definitely, I think he's on drugs for sure. Donald Fuller says, Mr. Lee, I'm not impressed with his dissing Cole's research about Cole's without Cole's present, and his shadow crap was all out of context. Life is a flyway says, Tom Cruise is 100% woke. Jack Reacher is supposed to be 6'5", not 5'6". He's woking for the shorts. Well, okay, that's I didn't pay no attention to that. That's not really my kind of movie, so I don't know about that. Was that a pretty woke movie? There's people in Hollywood the ones that aren't woke are starting to get, brave and starting to say stuff. It's going to come a time. The winds are shifting. Like some lady got all bent out of shape on me the other day because I used the word retard. Shut the fuck up. You know, ever since we were little, like we would insult each other, calling each other that name, and it's like, yo, you can't be saying. I was like, I told her, I said, it's whatever, lady. This woke, psycho, far left shit, we're sick of it. It makes me want to use the fucking word even more. And I called her a woke tard. Wasn't even talking to her. She just like just interjected. Um, More like a rant, really. Rex Hand is here. Welcome. Well, hellos and highs going on here. Try to catch up with this chat. Mr. Lee says, I still don't understand woke Lockbeard. Didn't explain properly. I don't know what else to say about it, really, Mr. Lee. It's just this extreme far left nonsense. I don't know if you could just spend some time on the internet trying to like sort out what it means when people say that, because I don't know what else to say, really. They try to say it's correcting social injustice, but what it actually is social injustice towards straight white males. They're being discriminate. They want it to be the norm to be discriminatory towards straight white males, and to be able to call it justified because somehow we have been assholes to everyone the fuck else. And you know, whatever, pansy ass fucks. Sanders says, fair to Midland. Rex Hand, welcome. Judy says, Lockbeard, how are you? I'm fine. Feeling a little stiff. Got stung a whole bunch in the last few days. A truck loaded with a bunch of bee colonies tipped over on an on-ramp. Spectacular disaster. Bees all over the place. I went down there to try and recover some of them. And they were pissed. They were pissed. Not only did the truck trip over, I might get on with, like, get the video. Like, I took some video surrounding the situation because they wouldn't let me touch the site because they were scooping up all the broken up hives into the dumpster. There were some in there that were recoverable. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to recover some equipment and then use that to start putting some bees in instead of putting them in the cardboard box traps that I've made for. It's just temporary to put them in. They wouldn't let me touch it. And they were destroying that stuff to put it in the dumpster. They wouldn't let me touch it, and they weren't being nice. Then they called the police on me, and the sheriff showed up, and which he was nice, and he's like, I get it. He's like, I understand, but yeah, the companies. They said that the company's handling. I'm like, they're not handling it. They're just scooping it up and throwing it in the dumpster and destroying what salvageable equipment there is. And those bees that are like, a lot of the bees were going over to these shrubs nearby and like gathering. There must have been 1 million, 2 million bees there. Shit. I mean, there were so many bees. So he said he had no problem with me coming back after these guys got out of there because these guys were not cooperating with me. They were a tow company. K&W, I think, was the name of the company. They definitely got on my shit list, and the high post, because they were saying that the highway patrol ordered that they just need to get this cleaned up as quick as possible. I'm like, fine, but I'm not in your damn way. Like, just ignore me. You know, oh, you could cause an accident. I ain't gonna cause an accident. I'm pulled off the road. Anyway, I showed up later and I was able to trap a bunch of the bees that were left behind in the shrubs, and so got a lot of stings in the process because I was only wearing a veil. I don't wear a full suit. It'd be too damn hot to do it in a full suit. So I took the stings. So yeah. Are you gonna go throw a banhammer when I lose it in Pat's chat? Well, don't lose it in Pat's chat. Don't lose it in Pat's chat. Mr. Lee says, "Oh, I get it now." So you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to act like they are so righteous and progressive, and you know, we're pro gay and we're pro black and we're pro woman and we're pro trans and all. They claim that they're all those, but they're really, if you start picking apart their bullshit, they're really not. They're really not. All right, think about this. Okay, so like something like the college where you take an entrance exam to this college. I can't remember which one it was. You take an entrance exam. You're required to get 90% on the entrance exam, but unless you're black, and I think they only required 60% on the exam for black people. So what you're telling me then, you college fucks and you far left morons, is that black people can't make 90%? Is that what you're saying? That black people are too stupid to be able to live up to the standard of everybody else? Is that why you set a lower? Why did you set a lower requirement for black people? This is truly just this is a test. This is an intellectual test. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Can you pass the fucking test or not? Why in the fuck did you set a lower exam requirement for black people unless you think black people are stupid? I know they're going to twist it and try to say, "Oh, no. You people set the lower standards for people of color because you think they're incapable of living up to the same standards as other people." That's what you think. That's you. Y'all are such fucking racist. You're so racist you're blinded to your own racism. Whereas me, I say treat everybody the same. Everybody's got to make 90%. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how gay you are. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're man, woman, freaking Sasquatch. I don't care. Same requirements for everybody. That's equality. That's freedom and equality. Not whatever that crazy shit that the far left is trying to paint. They want to give. They just. You know, Jesus Christ, I don't even know where to. Mr. Lisa, I'm going to ban your ass, motherfucker. Judy says extreme far left and extreme far right. Well, yeah, we have some extreme right too. That's kind of nuts. I think there's certain issues where extreme is what is right? Well, not in the sense of right, left politically, but what is correct. What is right for liberty? Like, if I said to you, I think that all drugs should be legalized, which I actually do believe. All drugs legal. Why? Because freedom, period. You can't pick and choose your freedoms. That's freedom. It's a personal choice you make. And I think I've explained before on here why prohibition of any kind makes the problem worse and makes bad people rich. If you truly understand the dynamic at play and you advocate for drug laws, drug prohibition, then that means You are purposely trying to make bad people rich, because that's exactly what happens. Everything goes to the black market. And so, some things you have to have illegal, right? Like, it's illegal to traffic humans, but that shit still happens. The black market still happens. So focus your resources on real crimes like that. Trafficking of human slaves, because that's what it is. It happens. It comes through Oklahoma here. They know it does. But we're over here trying to bust people because somebody's snorting some cocaine or some shit. I do not give a fuck. Did that person do anything to me? No, they're doing their own shit. So a lot of people would say that legalization of all drugs, that position is a far left ideology. Well, whatever. I think it's correct. It's liberty, and that's what we're supposed to be in America, is free. Liberty, period. And don't make things worse. That's stupid. Making drugs illegal makes the problem worse in a bunch of different ways. It's just that most people don't stop to think it all through. They just think, well, drugs are bad. Yeah, drugs are bad. But making drugs illegal makes drugs mo bad. I also believe that people should be armed to the teeth and have the right to be armed to the teeth. I should have the right to go buy a goddamn tank without any kind of registration bullshit. No, the government don't need to know. Nothing. I have a right to own weaponry of any kind under the Second Amendment. Period. A goddamn fighter jet, some fucking missiles. I don't fucking care. The reason for the Second Amendment is so that we, the citizens, have the ability to stand up to tyrannical government. If the government gets out of control, that's what the Second Amendment's for. It's not for self-defense on the street from a burglar. I mean, although that's part of it, but it's not for hunting. The Second Amendment was put there so that we have the ability to fight the goddamn government, because the governments, as we've seen in history, get out of control and get corrupt and become tyrannical. Our government has been that way before. The Civil War is an example. They had no business waging war on the citizens, and it sucks that they won. It sucks that they won. The wrong people won the Civil War, and people think, well, that's a whole nother subject. So, but anyway, this level of belief, a lot of people will call an extreme far right position, right? So apparently, am I extreme left or extreme right? Oh no, Lockbeard. What? Mogs lives in a cardboard box, just saying. No, he don't. Mr. Lee. Judy says, damn, that was shirty ship, Lockbeard. What? Down by the river. Oh, man, that chat just flew, didn't it? Jen says, too bad you weren't into bees a year and a half ago. My mom had to get rid of 4 bee boxes. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I need some now. I need some equipment bad now. I don't got enough room. Like, well, a huge swarm of bees flew off on me because the box, I had them in one of the swarm catching boxes. I didn't have a hive yet for them, and the queen somehow got out of the queen cage she was in, the clip. Because sometimes it happens, they're just slim enough they can slip out. Anyway, she got out, and they were like, "Look, there's not enough room here," and they just fucking left. So huge swarm of bees went out to somewhere in the woods. And so, like, I'm supposed to. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do this cutout, like removing a hive from a wall. I would like to do it, but I really don't have room for them yet. So I need bee boxes. I need beehives to put the bees in. Um, yeah, poor bees, man. They had a rough time of it. They're still a little pissed. Mr. Lee says, I'm going to be good now. Are you? Down by the river. Ginger. Mr. Lee's a ginger. Hey, gingers get a bad, like, you're like the most discriminated against white people there on the planet. Like, you ever notice, like, in any of the Disney shows or any of the movies that have a ginger character, females in particular, redheaded women characters, traditionally redheaded characters in any movie, is in danger of being replaced with a black woman. I mean, they even did it to fucking Annie, for fuck's sake. um, you know, yeah. It's a whole fucking thing, Mr. Lee. Donald says, Judy, it's a reference from a character Chris Farley did on SL, lived in a van down by the river. Hate everybody's equality. I hate everybody equally, says Rexanne. Yeah, yeah. That mom's here. Welcome. Foley. Very true. I'm not sure which part you're referring to, but thank you. Parasites have to keep us all separated. Their agenda to control us. Yeah. Just pissed off over so many different things, so many divisions that they're creating. They, I swear this whole 58 genders or however many they got now is another plan to further divide us. We need everybody just as far away from each other as possible. So they're so divided that we can only look to the government for anything. Batman says, no, it's illegal for anyone other than the government to traffic humans. Yeah, seriously. Motivational speaker. Yeah. Big problem in the Seattle area, too. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe it. I don't know how people don't see, that if we focused our resources, of course, again, this gets back to how there are so many cops that they're not real cops. They got the cop job, but they should have never been allowed to become a cop. And some of them are involved in the human trafficking. So that's part of our problem. We got to be able to police the police to make sure that we get rid of all the bad cops. But there's so many of them. Mr. Lee says, you would not be fat if you were me. Keto, just saying. Who's fat, Mr. Lee? George Carlin. Yeah, he should have been president. Life is Flyway says, here's my perspective. As a parent of someone that's classified as needing assistance and worrying how she will carry on once I'm gone, I can understand why someone would get upset over certain words. Yeah, but everybody needs to live by the whole concept of, the sticks and stones will break my bones, but words never hurt me. If everybody gets cries over a word, oh, you misgendered me. So did I hit you? And at what word is their rights end and my begin? Like, I have a right to say whatever I want coming out of my mouth. That's where my rights are, right? You don't have a right to tell me what to say. So, whatever. I think it's important to teach kids that do not let words, no matter how hurtful, become actually harmful to you psychologically. That resilience is important to learn. So when kids are making fun of each other, when they're when they're young, it's a learning process, and the parent needs to teach the kids, say, look, these are just fucking words. They don't matter. In 10 years, you'll look back and you won't even remember that douchebag's name who called you whatever the hell they called you. They need to learn. They need to go through this and learn. Otherwise, we end up with a bunch of triggery puffs sitting in a theater seat, that just throwing a freaking tantrum. When somebody's trying to give a speech. Pharma loves you to death, yeah. No to spaghetti. Man, now you got me thinking about spaghetti, Mr. Lee. Oh, yeah. I might go eat a huge plate of spaghetti tomorrow for you, Mr. Lee. Oh, yeah. Extreme both ways. That's what I'm saying. Like I have, in certain positions, I could be considered a leftist extremist or a right extremist. But I think that's what I'm talking about when I try to explain to people what they've done with the political divide and conquer, right? They created two platforms, the right and the left. And they made those, both of them, imperfect. Like the right has some shit that they're right about and shit that they're wrong about. The shit that they're wrong about, the left in many cases is on the opposite side of that. So the left is right or correct about that position, but then they're incorrect about the positions that the right is correct about. So they don't put together one platform that's right on everything, because they can't do that. They gotta get you all stuck into having to pick between one gray platform or another gray platform. There's no black and white. There's gray and there's gray. And you have to weigh, what do you care the most about? So if you care the most about something like whatever, like pro-choice or something, say you're pro-choice and that's your most important position, well, you're kind of locked into the Democrat Party, but you're going to have to make some trade-offs. So if there's some things you disagree with the Democrats on, you're just going to have to set that aside, because your most important issue that drives you is to allow women to kill their babies. And so, but they got to put you in that situation where you're forced to pick, because you're only given the two options, right? Anytime you try to pick a third option, they do some shenanigans to prevent that person from winning. They aren't always successful in lower positions, but in the presidential office, they've been able to keep everyone out, because they set the rules just the right way to help keep out third parties. They don't want third parties, because the third party might come in and take the good shit from the left and the good shit from the right and put it together and get everyone in the country thinking, well, fuck, these guys are like better than we've had in like decades and shit. Crimes against humanity, we need to hang them high, says Judy Wheeler. No to sweet corn, says Mr. Lee. I know, but if you go down to the buffet, Mr. Lee, sometimes they have this grilled corn on the cob. Batman says, let's keep doing the same BS and call it something different. Hi, I'm the government. No to bananas. Batman says, this just in on 9 o'clock news, Oklahoma has been overtaken by killer bees that had been domesticated and let out by supposedly a hostile turtle and cat-loving man in a van. Yeah, I've been hearing this, that Duke said something about me and cats. Now, I wonder where he could have got that idea. Like, where would he get this idea about me and cats?
I like to fuck my cat.
Yeah, I got that off of a channel I watch that actually talks about the woke bullshit, Mr. Lee. It's Mr. Plinkett. Look up Mr. Plinkett, Mr. Lee. Watch some Mr. Plinkett stuff. I need to know which one you need to watch. There's one. It's about Star Wars. If you watch anything of his, watch the one. I think it is a lot of his stuff's pretty long. That has to do with the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I think that's the one. And then you'll probably laugh your ass off. Skeeters are really bad, running out of blood. Send reinforcement, more blood, maybe a beer. It's hot out here. App to notify you you're off your period. Wow. What did cave women do without that app? Don Fuller says, "Are you the Hitler of keto?" Yeah, Mr. Lee is the Hitler of keto. I'm trying. You guys are just chatting too fast. Showed me the app. Send reinforcements. Government wants that personal information on women. Yeah, well, they know when you're shitting, apparently. So I don't need crap to inform me of that. I already know. Blood and beer in a way. Icon? Yeah. Welcome, Icon, by the way. No use for such a thing. Donald says, Judy, I listened to your parents' music last night. I like their cover of Ghost Riders in the Sky, my favorite country song. That mom says, Judy, they already have that with us paying on our debit cards at stores. That is true. If you're buying your products, they know. Train your dogs to attack skeeters. Everyone so sin. Not so in England. We call each other bad names all day. Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta let shit roll off. You can't be like Vault of Nightmares. Oh, that reminds me, Mr. Lee. I was trying to say, why is it that Vault of Nightmares can basically make death threats on his channel, and he never seems to get shut down? Like he pretty much just said, I'm going to end this person. I don't remember who it was, but fucking douche nozzle. Oh well, hey, while we're talking about that, whoops, I'll get rid of that. Where is it? Oh, just bear with me just a second. This is y'all might find interesting. Well, where the hell is it? Well, just give me a minute. Trying to find this. Oh, I had it. Well, where did it go? Where did it go? There we go. All right. So I don't know who this is, but I know whose channel it's on. And again, this video is basically a death threat too. So let me see here. Make sure it's we'll expand this. So we're on Chris Cat's channel. Chris Cat. We all know her, right? And it says at the Vault of Nightmares. At the Vault of Nightmares.
The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who just wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment the men who want to be left alone are forced to fight back, it's a form of suicide. They are literally killing off who they used to be. Which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play-acting at politics and terror. True terror will arrive at these people's door, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy, but will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just want to be left alone.
Yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be, but I see what the Vault of Nightmares, you know, because he's made these thinly veiled threats to people before, and this video plays into this, and it seems like Chris Cat is part of this whole game, right? Where he thinks because someone says words that he don't like about him because he's like full of shit, that somehow that justifies violent threats. And he's leading up to, like, this guy will probably physically attack somebody if he runs across them. Vault of Nightmares is dangerous. Like, I hope people can see that. The fucker is dangerous. And you know, I just, well, I mean, hold on a second. Let me find. This might take me even. Where? Let me see here. Hopefully, I remember where. All right. So this was where he was ranting against people saying stuff in his chat. He's mad because of what people are saying in his chat, but he's taking it too far, and he's making physical threats. It's a video called "You Want Vault? Okay, You Me." Or I guess he meant to say "You Got Me." Okay, you got me. This is over on Vault Nightmares channel.
Y'all want to know why the show is titled what it's titled? You're fixing to find out.
Mm-hmm. Glasses are off.
Oh yeah. Because I'm supposed to get down at the bottom of something, because everybody's always want vault. They want true vault, where you fix to get the true fucking vault. Because I don't know who the hell is. I got a good idea who's doing this. After tonight, if you ain't the one doing it, You better put on them goddamn little fucking fairy wings and fly around to figure out who the fuck it is. Because I'm fixing to dust your ass.
All right, there you have it. Right there, straight up violent threat. Channel still up. He's fixing to dust somebody's ass. That means he's going to end their life. He says this stuff a lot. It's worrisome. It's worrisome how much he says stuff like that. Judy says, calculated lunar cycle, alarm me if you're late. Me love skeeters. Someone says, someone from UK called me today. I've never had that. No one said nothing. It was probably the Queen. The Queen Reptilian, right? According to Mr. Lee. Dog's picture. Life says, I used to feel that way until I saw the pain in her eyes when she heard me say it. That's when I understood. Yeah, but you still got to teach her because, like, everyone else in the world isn't going to, you know what I mean? They're not going to care. I mean, you care, but you got to teach her to be able to handle, you know, whatever people say. And she'll survive it, you know, she'll be strong. What in the heck? Jay says they want to count pregnancies now. Sounds like Handmaid's Tale. The Bat Mom says, Judy, there's a lot of apps for everything, even for police lights, so you can put your phone out of the car window and pull people over. What the hell? Impersonating an officer, it sounds like to me. There are a lot of things you care about, Mr. Lee. Words kill. I haven't been able to get past certain words. But you got to keep trying because there's going to be people that's going to say all kinds of shit. And you just got to be able to let it roll off. Holy moly. That's... Jen says, problem is with people that will use those apps. Lots don't want to think for themselves in any way. Well, and that's one of the things I've been saying, you know, about how people view how Sasquatch is, right? Because they assume that because they don't have technology that they're somehow not as smart as we are. Our technologies are making us weak and stupid. You know, the cash register is doing all the math for the clerks. So a lot of these clerks couldn't count back change if the machine didn't tell them exactly how much to count back. Like we're losing the ability, there's a lot. This is a huge subject, right? Because even though we have some smart people that can make the technology, in general, it's causing us to breed down the human species. Like we are selectively breeding ourselves to be less intelligent. This is a real phenomenon. They've been measuring it. IQ points are going down. There's a reason. We're literally selectively breeding our species to be stupider and weaker and less resilient in general. So who's to say Bigfoot isn't smart enough to know that and knows that technology does nothing but makes them weak? Oh yeah, we could use fire to keep us warm, but then we would over the generations, we would be less and less hairy because we're letting the fire keep us warm instead of our hair. And so Sasquatch people with less hair are able to survive when they normally would not. Normally they would, if they didn't have enough hair, they would get cold and die. Or at least be less survivable or weaker in general. It keeps you strong, forcing yourself to live the natural way. Don't rely on anything. Don't rely on clothing. Don't rely on fire. Keeps you strong. Who's to say they aren't smart enough to figure that out when humanity is so stupid that, you know, even though some of us know this, it's like it's still happening. I'm powerless to stop it here, but I see it happening. Creepy cat porn. Yeah. Tell Duke tell Duke him and all his bullshit. Duke is full of shit. Like, I know some of y'all ain't figured this out yet or fully resonated. Look, I told you LIB, the stuff about LIB. I proved it right here. If you still want to go listen to him and be nice with him in chat, hey, it's on you. But because that cowardly douchebag won't face me in chat. That's how pussy he is. That's how pussy he is. He won't face me. He can't face me in chat. He's got me blocked. Duke does too. Why? Duke is another one that's full of shit. As soon as the shit with Patrick Vaughn happened, what happened? Patrick Vaughn blocked me. I haven't even said a whole lot about him, but he blocked me. These people all have vaginas. If you're a guy and you block people in chat because you can't deal with their words, you're a goddamn pussy. Nah, not Felix. Vibrational waves, true words are damaging and healing. So that's why his cat goes meow. It's weird. Yeah, that's Mr. Plinkett's. That come out on one of Mr. Plinkett's videos, man. Go take it up with Mr. Plinkett. He's got some. Look, some people can't handle certain types of humor. If you can't handle some fucked up humor, don't go to Mr. Plinkett. Don't go watch Mr. Plinkett videos. Volt of douchebag, Volt of dimwit, Volt of dumbass, Volt of just douchebaggery. Not that easy. Did you find it? What did I find? Did I find what? You said update. Comments. Found it. Talking about the video I was looking for. Old style country. Bolt certainly didn't act like any soldier of fortune I've ever heard. He acts like someone with a little man syndrome. His vagina hurts. Batmon says people can dish it, but the narcissistic ones can't take it. They start to cry. Little man syndrome, yeah. Weak and stupid, yes. That's hey, I don't have mobile. Why you don't have mobile? We're being done down, absolutely. And some of it may be literally like done on purpose, but a lot of it's just happening because, look, people look, we want to save people, right? We want to be compassionate and all that stuff. But the problem with human compassion is it doesn't let the dumb and the weak die. In order for the species to stay strong and intelligent, you gotta let the dumb and the weak fucking die. But we're not. And then they grow up, because usually your dumb and weak ones die young, right? Before they get old enough to breed. But they grow up, and these dumb, weak people breed. And their dumb, weak genetics permeate the gene pool, and our species is just coming down. So this is definitely happening. It's measurable. They have been measuring it. We are on our way out. We're going to have fewer and fewer intelligent people going forward, and people are going to be weaker and weaker. And this is a result of our technology. We're letting our technology do everything for us. And That's why I put that quote on Joe's show earlier when they were kind of talking about that stuff with Sasquatch, and it comes from Star Trek Insurrection. In that movie, they run across these people that don't have any advanced technology. They're using simple stuff like they've built a dam for their water, for the lake there. They really simple technology they got, but they don't have anything very advanced. And they look like they're just wait, because in Star Trek, like if you haven't advanced to the point that you've developed warp drive, which allows you to travel faster than light, so you can go to other star systems. They have a rule: you don't contact people until they have become that technologically advanced, because when they do, bad things happen. And if you're not familiar with that, it would take a while to explain why that is, and examples in the Star Trek franchise of how things went wrong, and examples from real life where we've contacted primitive tribes and fucked things up. We should have that prime directive applies on that level too. Like anytime you contact someone more primitive than you have a problem. Well, they met these people in the movie Star Trek Insurrection that appeared to be way less advanced, but what they ended up discovering is that these people were actually very advanced. They were fully aware of spaceships and warp drive and all kinds of science, but they chose to leave it behind and get rid of it. And that quote I put in Joe's chat was, we believe that when you build a machine to do the work of a man, you take something away from the man. They realized technology was making them weak. I do make you laugh. Such honesty. Yeah, can we just have a little bit of honesty? Fuck. There's fireflies all around. I wouldn't doubt if one came in here. It's not an orb. It's fireflies. Got lots of fireflies around. Children of the Corn. Managed to live 48 years. He stopped peeing in the gene pool. Yeah. Mere child, Mr. Lee. Jay's pulling a prank on you, Mr. Lee. Is his eyes healing? As long as you keep your sunglasses on, you're fine. All brain, no body. All brain equals no body. It might end up like that one of these days. Be like the Dune prequels where the cogitators, in the Dune universe and the books that are like from 10,000 years before the events of the movie Dune that some of you have seen, the new one or the old one, back when when they had machines and AI and stuff in that universe, there was these people called the cogitators that they wanted to focus just on thinking, and they got rid of their bodies, and they were just a brain. They were just a brain in a tank. You survived the skeeters. Enough said for tonight, he says. Bigfoot hunting tomorrow. Well, good luck. You resemble that remark. Dune, yes, says Judy. Yeah. Jen says, got to head to work in 8 hours. Night, everyone. Good night, Jen. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz, I'm coming over. Be there in 15 minutes. Is Tom Cruise coming with you, Mr. Lee? I wonder if he's going to make any other violent statements.
For everybody, I want to tell you straight up front. This is not a gay bash. This is not nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with that. For anybody get your tail feathers in a wad, and whoever this other little motherfucker is that goddamn leaving these damn little shit on my channel, I'll let your shit come through this last time. Just so I can address you, so you can have your little comment out there. So when I address you, people don't have to ask me what I'm talking about. You want to talk about Rambo? Rambo was a fictional character, motherfucker. I am not fictional. You want to find out how fucking real I can be? Just show up and fucking damn where everybody else is going to be at the airport. I'll show you how goddamn fictional I am. Because I've done got fed up, fucking tired of this shit.
There you go. Another threat of violence. So whoever he's talking to, because I don't know the name of the person he's talking to, Donald mentioned the Rambo thing in the earlier chat over Joe's, I think, or was it Pat's? Anyway, so I don't know if Donald watched this video here, or maybe he's talking about Donald. I don't know, but he's basically just said that if he sees this person at LBL, he's am I reading too much into it, or am I hearing him say he's going to become freaking Rambo violent on this person? He's threatening this person. Oh, just let me. You know what I mean? He makes these threats all the time. Donald said, Jay Fritz, take care of the eyes. I've destroyed mine from working in an assembly line that was paid by piece rate. I used lighter lenses than what was necessary for any kind of arc welding. Jay says, had to be the sun flash off of the water. Donald hurt like heck soon as I got off the water. Yeah, it's really bright out in the water. Gotta be careful. So Donald, what because you mentioned Rambo earlier, and you heard what he just said about Rambo. So I don't know if it was because you watched this, or is he talking about you, or have you seen who he's talking about that's been making these Rambo comments that he's, commenting on here? Batmom says they threatened me and said my son was some rapist on one of their shows. Still don't know why. I posted a comment and they straight up deleted it. Yeah. It's funny how the people there's people that are supporting this guy and they just don't see. They just don't see, I guess. Donald says he's talking about me, laughing my ass off. I'm shaking in my boots. I was wondering if that was the case, because when you said that, because I'd already watched this, right? At least this part of it. And where he mentions the Rambo thing, and I was saying, were you aware of this? Did you see this here? Or is this the first time you've seen this particular? Because I guess it says, that's right, he's talking about you. That's hilarious. Well, yeah, he's talking like he's going to be violent towards everybody. This guy is, how the fuck is this YouTube channel still up? I thought making straight up death threats was against the rules. somebody threatens me, I'm giving my address. Come at your own risk. Hello, Mr. Hugh. Mr. Lee says Volt equal dickhead. Just saying.
Somebody thinks it's a goddamn funny ass fucking thing to go around going out, fucking cursing whatever you're doing. Real big. I'll put it right back so everybody can see here just a second of everything. I want you to look right here. I'm not in the playing fucking mood anymore. You want my fucking attention, you have to fucking attention. I told you be careful with that. You want to play talking about Rambo this? You think I'm a fake fraud? I tell you what, there ain't nothing but air and opportunity and very little fucking opportunity. When you start messing with my fucking family and fucking people I care about, I'm really good at one thing. Trust me, you don't want to find out what that one fucking thing is.
Again, what is he saying there? He's good at killing. I'm just here. He just keeps on and on. And this video, it goes on. They start talking about how they believe somebody cast a spell on them, basically. I mean, it gets nut. It's just, nuttier by the minute. Talking about Donald. Batmom says the whole rapist thing was what he said about his ex's son. Honestly, they can talk all they want because that's all they have. I told them in the comment that I wasn't hiding. They want me to come. They want me come get me. Yeah, this is like he does this shit all the time where he's like, like he wanted to talk to me in person. No, that's not what you were trying to say. What you wanted was to have an opportunity to become violent with me. That's what you wanted. And how much you want to bet this kind of asshole, if someone agreed to meet, just straight up agreed to meet for a fist fight, he would show up with a gun. He would. This guy, he would show up with a gun. You're making the Rambo comments? Well, he talks like he just said he's good at one thing. I have a very particular set of skills. Fuck off, Vault. Stop threatening people. Yeah, so I mean, am I wrong here? Did we not just watch him make 3 death threats within a couple minutes? Or at least violent threats. You think that dude's only about 80 miles from you now? Wherever he's at. There is the old man Jay. Oh yeah, he's angry. I don't blame him for being angry, but he's threatened me. He's threatened these other people. Donald's like, I'm fucking shaking. He's talking to you, Mr. Donald, I guess, apparently.
We're going to address some stuff here. And then at the end of this, you really won't Vault. Told you when I was going back to my fucking roots. I went back to my fucking roots. I got something special for you. Now, like I said, before anybody starts.
Well, I don't know who. I mean, I know who Achaeos is. I don't know who Truth is, or Chaos, or Bass. Or fuck these people. I don't know them. Whatever. But they're about to go into about how, I don't know who it was, that supposedly put a spell on him, and Truth is like he got sick or something, and I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to jump to the end and see if there's anything interesting. He said there's something special at the end. So I don't know.
Was it just going to take the kindly go out and kept on doing this stuff? Not only that, he tried to come in a live stream the other night that I had with Achaeos. right as I ended it.
Yep.
I said, I don't get it. I said, just go your way, have a very fucking time somewhere, and keep it going. Thank y'all very much. Like I said, I can't see who just did that. But like I said, I don't even know what it was. But thank y'all for supporting us, and thank y'all for everything that y'all do.
I don't care about that.
Bomb wouldn't go off. Just keep playing with the fucking button.
Oh my God. Hey, Dark Waters, Dogman Cans, this is Cam. Let's go ahead, Chef, hit it.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Destiny, for getting them up.
No, Vault is not. Look it up.
I tell you what. Whoever did that, go do me a favor, because you'll love this conversation. Go over to Dark Waters and ask him about Vault. Because like whenever these other people that I showed up over at the other channel not too long ago and had it out with doofus-ass Lockbeard, they wanted to call me Dark Waters' pit bull. And Dark told them, no, Vault is not a damn pit bull. Vault is a fucking nuclear bomb waiting to go off. Just keep playing with the fucking button. See, Dark knows exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely not DW.
Oh. Did I hear what I just thought I heard? Fuck you, Vault. Jason's always like guys like that. When I faced off with them the second time he opened up, I knocked his dick in the dirt. Girl told me to shut the fuck up. I'm holding my stomach. I'm laughing so hard. Going well with farming plus health ways. Can we all just talk about good things in life, says Miss Dill? Negative thoughts eat at our happiness and our spirit and soul. Yeah, but look, there's some negative shit out there, and somebody's got to take it down. You know, somebody's got to address it. That was one of the scenes in A Few Good Men, right? Where, yeah, he's the bad guy in the movie, but Jack Nicholson's character was saying some very real shit about how somebody's got to stand on that wall. You get to live your life of peace and freedom because there's somebody out there fighting wars to give you that peace and to give you that freedom. And so it's got to be dealt with. There's got to be someone to go deal with the bad bullshit. Tabitha, his wife. Donald says, this is someone that people respect. Why? He opened the can of worms when he played his bullshit audio and I called him out. Yeah. Well, he's going to get called out all day long because he's full of shit. He's just full of shit. And he's threatening people. Stop fucking threatening people, Vault, you dumb fuck. Stop it. That's the one thing you set me off with is your goddamn bullshit. You trying to be all Billy Badass over here. Goddamn Rambo, as somebody apparently said. There's no place for that. You disagree with me, whatever, but don't come in my goddamn chat and threaten me because I'm, gonna just come at you harder in the chat. Your threats are, whatever. It's criminal threats, I think, to some of this stuff that you've said to people. Yeah. What did he say to me, Mr. Lee? Did I hear him correctly? Doofus ass Lockbeard, is that what he said? Mr. Hughes says, what is going on here, Mr. Lee? I am lost. Well, we've kind of been all over the place. Who is Christine with again? Apparently she's with Vault. She was up in here. Look, Judy, So she came up in here sometime after that DDoS episode I did. She was saying some bad shit about Vault, wasn't it? But anyway, saying he was guilty of, being a pedo. I think she was trying to get me to say that as a way of entrapment. I think she's been in his little circle all the way back then when she was in this chat acting like she was telling people he was a pedo. So she's been outed. Mr. Lee apparently spotted her right off the bat. Icon says, she's doing good. Just got done with the first cutting of hay. Health is holding out okay. How's tricks on your side of the puddle? Donald says, he's talking about someone else there. I wouldn't try to go in his show. Yeah. I don't know who he's talking about. He talked about, he had some shit to say about multiple different people. But apparently, so what you're saying to me is the Rambo comments is you. And then, of course, he just mentioned me. Woohoo! Living rent free in Volt's mind, just like he's living in mine, I guess. Tom Cruise again, says Mr. Lee. Icon says hi to Miss Still. Squatching Cowboys here. Welcome. Love goes all around the world, Miss Still. Batman says they will ruin their own channel. People's eyes will open and see the truth. I'm pretty sure if someone reported several points, I haven't even watched this whole thing. I can't stomach too much of it. But within a couple minutes there, he had made 3 basically violent or death threats. I have a feeling if someone reported this, it would probably go the fuck away. Or maybe his channel, may suffer greatly. It's just, I'm not going to do it, but yeah, apparently I'm a doofus. And he like the shit was taking place in chat where I was my conversation with him and Chris Cat. And I'm sure Moog saw it and was choosing not to respond to it at all, which is fine. He didn't have to. He doesn't have to bring it on screen. But what's Vault do? He forces it on screen. Like he jumps back in just to because he doesn't understand that he shouldn't have fucking done that. He should have kept it in the goddamn chat where he was masquerading as someone else. He had a different name. But he revealed who he was because he was mad because I was talking to Chris. And I have a right to say some shit to fucking Chris, Mr. Vault, because she come up into my chat and I'm pretty sure it was trying to entrap me into trying to get me to say something that would have been going too far as incriminating, something that wasn't true about you. But I responded with, well, I don't know about that. I haven't heard any evidence about that or something to that effect. I'm just saying what I know. And I don't know about that. But she was bringing it up like I don't know where that comes from. I think, and since we now know that she's with you, we can be even more certain, we know that she was sent here to try to entrap me. So you can try and act like, oh, hey, no one talking to my woman. Motherfucker, she come up in my chat and engaged me. I get to go back at her. And I wasn't even being too harsh about things. I was being really fucking nice about it. But she come up in my chat first. So fuck you, Vault, and you're being all indignant and pissed off about me engaging Chris. You all are just all about lies and bullshit. So fuck off, man. Darkness will come to light. Icon. Joe, just question cowboy. Yes, you did. Yeah, spotted cat. That monsters, because that's when Lakea told me that Chris was stalking them. Yeah, I mean, do you think that was part of the scam? You know, I mean, how deep does this go? Because something. I mean, obviously, how the hell does she go from that there to here? You know, where she's supposedly dating him and Jojo Rambo. Oh my, wait, this person is now with Christine? Yes. Mr. Lee says, I'm seeing the truth. Telling you. See the truth, Mr. Lee. I'm telling you. That one says, oh, did he teach their own? Terroristic threatening. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what some of the shit we just saw it, right? And we saw what he said in the chat, you know, well, months ago in my chat. So, what did I miss about that asshole? Well, you know, he's just threatening people again, like he always does. And apparently, well, here, let me see if we can play that segment again.
But you guys are about to start getting real New York down here.
I agree with what Barry said. They're never going to show up.
But hey, I got
no, they're going to show up.
No, the
motherfuckers can't afford the ticket.
I know. Hey, I got one. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not nothing else. But go ask Michael what happened. Oh, that's right. You need a Ouija board.
Jennifer, exactly. She said, David, if you can run your mouth as a keyboard warrior, why not be accountable as a man and back your gibberish up? I agree. But you see that little. I'm running out of insults here, guys. Fuck.
I'm running out of invitation.
Oh my God. Hey, Dark Waters, Dogman Cams is a scam. Isn't that wild?
I tell you what. Whoever did that, go do me a favor, because you'll love this conversation. Go over to Dark Waters and ask him about Vault. Because like whenever these other people that I showed up over at the other channel not too long ago and had it out with doofus ass Lockbeard, they wanted to call me Dark Waters' pit bull. And Dark told them, no, Vault is not a damn pit bull. Vault is a fucking nuclear bomb with the Vault.
Yeah, whatever, Vault. See, y'all are all over on that side. They're all about building themselves to be these huge, horrible, dangerous thugs. They're this violent threat is a constant theme with these guys. That mom says, well, Chris is a big girl. You were respectful, Lockbeard. They just play victim as always. Miss G says, I have come to the thought in all streams, you can't believe one word what folks say. When I see eye to eye, then I will believe them. That mom says, what's funny is he didn't think his woman was woman enough to take care of herself. He's married still. I guess they got a divorce or whatever. Him and Lakea, who's there on the screen with him. I mean, she's not. She's got an icon up. But still says, Lockbeard, I love hearing your wisdom. Instead of giving your energy to these lame channels, I love you calling these arseholes out, though. I gotta do it sometimes. Especially if he's gonna call me doofus on screen. I mean, come on, I gotta address that. Donald says, wonder how he liked when I asked you if Chris Cat and JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy been in Mog's chat Thursday night. Mr. Lee says, all lies. Batman says, I'll do a debate with them. I'll put the proof of what I've said on the table. I would like them to show the proof they pretend to have. Who else was wanting to debate Vault? Donald was wanting to debate Vault on my channel. I really don't think, if I threw that out there, I don't think he would show up. But I guess it would be cool to see what happens. But you know, Batmom and Donald team up, and Vault of Nightmares shows up with Vault of Nonsense. Need to stick to his real name. His real name is Vault of Nonsense, like hidden exaggeration and bullshit odyssey. Das. So yeah, dark sewage. Somebody. I don't know what would happen. I mean, they're just gonna spout bullshit and probably make some violent threats. You know, that's what's gonna happen. Let me see here. Let's just jump to a random spot, see what other kind of craziness we can hear.
Like there's things that nobody listening to the squatch or whatever it is. Snack on this pig over here, brother. You can.
Oh shit.
Any damn sense.
You double give me a chance to explain.
You haven't explained. You're making an excuse.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't need you did it too. Yeah.
This looks interesting.
Okay.
Needed that laugh.
Unless you ate some Taco Bell, then that might be a repeated process.
All right, Sir Isaac Newcomb is back. What's up? All right, let's hear this shit.
All right, hold on, give me a second.
Oh shit. Count me slipping.
Just let you know I got my bullshit meter on, and this is really good.
It better be damn good. It better be.
All right, you're live.
All right. This whole thing started on episode 7 of Red Feather Review. Right at the 8-minute mark at the beginning of the show. Anybody can go back and rewatch the show, and they will hear Bass say, Chase sent me a picture of a dick. It's up on your channel.
No, he never said that.
Yes, he did. I've got it downloaded.
So, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if I can find that. So he said episode 7, 8-minute mark. I wonder if I can find this. the internet can hold up. Red Feather Review. Well, there's no number on it. Well, there's number 8. So there's a number on that one. There we go. So I'm gonna back that up just a little bit and see. Make sure I got it right.
Anybody can go back and want to rewatch the show, and they will hear Bass say, "Chase sent me a picture of a dick." It's up on your channel.
All right, you're live.
All right. This whole thing started on episode 7 of Red Feather Review. Right at the 8-minute mark.
All right. So we'll see. Because that was something that was brought up earlier in the show about somebody saying that. And that's why he was saying he doesn't have a problem with gay people and stuff like that. So let me see if I can bring up. Well, come on now. Episode 7, Red Feather Review. We're at 7:26, so hopefully we'll see what he's talking about.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to do some reviews tonight. And some of the stuff we're going to review is that people have caught here. And before the paddywhacker fucking keyboard bandits come out, I didn't catch this. Understand it. I'm going to slow down for you. I know some of you are very slow. Break out the Crayolas. Stop chewing on.
All right, we're at 7:55. So he said right at the 8-minute mark. So let's see what we hear.
Just color with them. I did not take the pictures. Somebody else did. I'm just showing what they caught. Did you catch it that time?
Caught it.
And I apologize. I missed last night, man. I fell asleep. I was talking to Red Wolf, and he said he fell in a pond or some lake. He ended up on somebody's property and shit like that. He said, "Man, picked up a dick." I went to the store, got a turkey sandwich.
Wait a minute, back up.
What's wrong with you, man? You throw him under the bus and blame me?
Well, it did in fact get said. So Vault's sitting here denying something that actually happened. I don't know how fucking important it is, but so see, he can't tell the truth about the smallest thing. Mr. Lee says, Vault, so let me get this right here. He faked audio. He played some audio that everybody knew wasn't legit. On Moog's show, I think it was. Jay says, I think his real name is James. Mr. Hughes says, Miss Dill said we should be lovers, Judy. Miss Dill says, the past, gone by in time and no longer existing. Tomorrow is promised to no man. Why do you think like that? Shaking there. Still, all we have is now. Donald says, Mr. Lee, he took audio that Roger Patterson made using a church bell in a bell tower, saying he recorded it 3 days before last Thanksgiving. pull up audio again. Can pull what? Well, if you're talking about what he played on, I think it was on Moog's show, wasn't it, Donald? And I mean, maybe we could. The Batmom says only gay people pretending to be straight get so butthurt over a dumb comment. Donald says Mr. Lee, he played it on Moog's show just after Thanksgiving. Going to get some work done, y'all. Be well, says Batmom. See you later, Batmom. Christina Larkin. Very possibly, Mr. Lee. Very possibly. Let her lurk. Her and her dumbass boyfriend, Vault. Let's see. Miss Still says, Judy, that is the point of my comment. The past is gone. All we have is right now. Coach Cowboy says that truth guy looks like the bass player for Rick James, bitch. I'm Rick James, bitch. I'm sure they are. Donald says, I can't remember that long ago. Or Mr. Lee says, Donald, I can't remember that long ago. What do you mean you can't remember that? Mr. Lee, where have you been? Judy says, Mr. L, I'm agreeing with you. So is Mr. Haywood Mr. Lee? No. Love is in the air. Miss Dill says, sorry, Judy. This is what sucks about not talking to someone face to face. It is hard to tell someone's emotions over a computer. Yeah, it can be. Certainly can be. Well, let me see. Because I don't know if we'll be able to pinpoint the point in time where he played that audio. Donald. But was it the show immediately after Thanksgiving? Oh gosh. Okay, I don't want to click on that one. Maybe it's this one. Son of a... All right. Let's see what the date for this one is. All right, that's in October.
Coming back home.
So that's not it. I was hoping I could see it in the thumbnail. Wait, I think I found it. I think I might have found it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a long show.
And
it's a long show, so I don't know what point in the show he played the audio. Miss Still, you're in trouble. Says Mr. Hugh. Judy says, Miss Still, I know my daughter has encouraged me to go on a live stream and just chat a little. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, are Joe, Sasquatch, Western, and Mr. Pat not talking? Why they have show on at the same time then? Well, that was talked about a little bit earlier, Mr. Lee. Not really sure what's up. So I don't know if I can say anything on that matter. Just don't know if I can say anything on the matter. It just seems like there's something up. So this looks like it was the episode. Mogion Monster Channel, WTF Live, streamed live on November 25th, 2021. Vault of Nonsense, under the name Vault Keeper, was on. And on the show as a guest. So when did he show up? He showed up about an hour and a half in.
Uh-oh. Hey, what up? And who else? Niall.
Niall. Hi, Niall.
Niall. What's up, guys?
Nile like the river in Egypt. It's my name, Niall.
I apologize.
No need to apologize. I always have this. I'm Irish, so I don't like the word Neil because we were taken over by the British for too long. So it's the bastardized version of my true name, which is not. In English, it's Neil. But I always say
5 Skitter. I think it's a D model or something. Well, I said it.
It's very. It's kind of repetitive.
Mr. Pop, I don't know. How well do y'all know Miss Melvin?
Let's see here. Joe says that audio was one of the reasons I don't watch Mogs much anymore. That shit started it all. Judy says, Miss Dill, do you have Facebook Messenger? Shalee says, and also, are Patrick Vaughn and Mr. Pat not talking also? Yeah, I would say that's a reasonable assumption at this point, but I don't know for a fact. I assume that to be the case because of that whole issue with him, Patrick Vaughn, abusing the wrench as a moderator, and it resulting in Pat taking away everybody's wrench. So something, so I doubt they're really talking, and especially since Patrick Vaughn is so quick to block people. He's too pussy to face people that say stuff he don't like. He might as well go jump on Vault of Nonsense's channel and hang out with him. For all I know, he probably already does. And he's exposed himself, Patrick Vaughn, by blocking people like bullshit artists do in this community. By blocking people, he has showed his hand. And he might as well just have admitted that he is full of shit. When you block people, that shows what you are. That shows that you can't face the light of day. You cannot handle scrutiny because you're bullshit. You're full of bullshit. So, I'm sure Patrick Vaughn felt so powerful by blocking me. Patrick Vaughn, I could jump on this phone. This is my spare phone. I always have two phones. And all I got to do, if I don't jump on another account, because LIB, I noticed LIB blocked the Cold Break. What do I got it now? Blade Rock, where I switched the letters around on Lockbeard. That account, I noticed LIB caught on that was me and finally blocked me on that. But it doesn't matter because all I got to do is go into incognito mode, so I'm not on any account, right? And I can see all your comments anyway. LIB, Patrick Vaughn, Anita. Anita's blocked me. Can you fucking believe that shit? All the people who blocked me, y'all have vaginas, every last one of you. Especially LIB, you pussy ass. You know, that you can't handle me seeing your stuff. Dude, I can see your stuff anytime I want. Most of the time, it's not worth looking at because you're full of shit. You're an exposed liar. I exposed you here for lying and stealing people's shit. You can't make that go away. That's just a goddamn fact. Even Mr. Lee here, who finally saw right here that LIB was full of shit. That would be Long Island Bigfoot for anyone watching that doesn't know who we're talking about when we say LIB. Long Island Bigfoot, full of shit. I provided the proof here. I wouldn't say, I shouldn't say I proved. Someone else, saw what was going on and told me. But I showed it here. And that LIB, Long Island Bigfoot, steals people's stuff, steals their pictures, claims it to be his, and then lies about it. And he has a little lackey friend, this Hart person, last name H-A-R-T, I forget the first name, who tried to take the blame. But anyways, bullshit. He steals and then he lies about it, and he tells bullshit Bigfoot stories. Mr. Lee, see, says Mogs. Is Mogs here? Or you just you're just yelling because you see Mogs on the screen? Judy says, Joe, oh, so I don't understand. What about Mogs? Jeff Harding kissing Dark Water's ass. Donald says, it's somewhere towards the middle of the show. Squash Cowboy says, Judy, he let Dark Sewage take over his show. Chat with Dill and Judy on Facebook. Oh, I have to say, Pat looks sickly in his liver, kidneys taking a toll on him. I can see it. Mr. Lee says, Mr. Pat did wrench me, Lockbeard. Like, since then, has he given you a wrench? Because he took everyone's wrench away when that Patrick Vaughn stuff happened. Wheeler whiskey every night. We'll do that. You can see it too. Mr. Hughes says wrench means nothing on streams. What do you mean? It means nothing on streams? He was blocking people that really didn't deserve to be blocked because he didn't like what they had to say. If they criticized Patrick Vaughn at all, he didn't have a problem with putting you in timeout or blocking you or whatever he does. Jay says, Mogs is a good, honest human being. Mr. Hughes says, whiskey, no, do I am chill person, love the flow in life. I did have a drink back then, but we wake up to chill instead. Troy's here. Welcome. So what's up? It's all kinds of ridiculousness, really. Squatching Cowboy says, yes, Jay, he is a really good guy, but he let that asshole take over his show. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz Mogs is my favorite. Which is why, Mr. Lee, you need to do your job at Mogs. You need to be the new co-host of WTF Live. That's right. You need to get on camera and and help Mogs do the show. Jack, Sir Russell, a friend. Troy Barracks, LOL. Yeah. Mr. Hughes says, I like Moog's show. I can't have a bad word for Moog's. Moog shows, no favorites. I assume you mean there. Miss Steele says, Lockbeard, what do you think about the Nephilim and giants? Genesis 27:11. Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Well, Miss Steele, look, that's Joe pretty much said, like, I try not to turn it into a big battle. Here's my position on that is that's not a history book. Nothing in that book hardly can be proven to exist. Some of stuff did, but look, that's your religion. You can believe it if you want, but that doesn't mean that's not a factual. That's not science. Like science produces for us every day. It allows this internet and this computer and this electricity to work that allows us to do this live stream right here. That's science. Science is real. It works, and so that's the realm that I live in the realm of science. Stories written in an ancient book, written by people that were Bronze Age goat herders. They had very little science about them at the time. They were trying to explain the world in whatever way they can. Now, some may argue that still doesn't prove that there's no God. But you can't prove a negative. That's one thing that people screw up is they think they're making a point when they're asking you to prove a negative. You can't prove a negative. I can tell you right now, I could say there's unicorns running around in this forest. Well, you can't prove there's not. That's proving a negative. That's why the burden of proof is not on the person, on you to prove that the unicorn isn't there. The burden of proof is on me to prove that there is evidence of the unicorn. So this verse in the Bible means nothing to me. It doesn't prove anything. It actual evidence, actual science. I mean, there's a lot of shit in that book that it's funny how people pick and choose what they want to listen to out of the book too. It's real funny, they want to take stuff literally. Like, you want to take this literally now. Well, read the Gospels. I studied the Gospels pretty closely back in the day. I used to study all the religions. Those four stories, you can't take them literally because they don't agree with each other. If you actually take the time and read them and understand what you're reading, you'll find that the stories are not the same story. They're based on the same story. They're roughly the same, but it's like Hollywood made 4 movies based on a book, and they're different directors' take on the story. So things happen in a different order, and different stuff happen. And so you can't take it literally. And then there's the whole thing where, now this is going to piss people off. I mean, hey, you wanted to take it down a religious road, right? The empire, the Romans, they were having trouble with the Jews, right? It appears that it may be the case that they knew that they needed something to get the Jews to cooperate with them. So you end up with this story that their Messiah had come and told them what? To turn the other cheek, so basically don't be violent. If a Roman soldier attacks you, you're not to fight back. And also, you remember, he also told them, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Basically, They wrote the Roman aristocrats wrote this story that the Messiah had come and told the Jews to pay their taxes. Do you think that's a and some of them bought it. Next thing you know, Christianity is born. None of the contemporaries of Jesus wrote about Jesus. Like these things. Look, I know this is hard to swallow. It was hard for me to swallow because I was a Christian. I was raised a Christian. I had to accept certain facts. There was a lot of people writing shit at the time, and nobody wrote shit about Jesus at the time of his life. The writings occurred later, which is what you would want to do. You wouldn't want to write it while people can prove he wasn't here. You want to write it and say, well, it happened 70 years ago, and in that way the people can't prove it's wrong. They don't know where his body is, and blah blah blah. And nobody's been around long enough to remember it actually been there. They can't find anyone to confirm the story, so they have to believe whatever the story was they were told. And so that's where we're at. It looks like the whole story was made up to rein in unruly Jews, because the Romans needed to get them under control. So they wrote a story to convince them that their Messiah came decades ago and ordered them to be peaceful, to turn the other cheek, and to pay their taxes. That's what the Gospels is about. There's absolutely no proof that any Messiah ever came. Find it. I'm waiting. I mean, but it seemed to be the case that that's what happened. I'm sorry if that's angering the people, but yeah. Mogs is better on his own. No, Mr. Lee, he needs a co-host. He needs the British Bigfoot report too. He's jumped my ass many times, says Jay. It's all calm down here, says Mr. Hugh. Jay says, old man going to shower and hit the sack. Night all. Good night, Jay. Thanks for coming. Miss Still says, where did science come from then? Why can't they show how the pyramids built then? Well, the way you're using the word science is a little strange. Like, science is just a method, right? It's a method where you actually prove things to be so. That's all it is. It's not like it's a magical force in the universe. I mean, unless you're thinking you're using it as if you're describing like physics. Now, now don't get me wrong. Like I've kind of torn into quantum physics because quantum physics is making some incorrect interpretations of their observations and come up with all these weird ideas, and they're missing something. Because like I'm saying to you that I speak from a strictly scientific perspective, but the scientific perspective does show that there is something that you may refer to as a spiritual component to reality, right? I don't like using the word spiritual because it carries a lot of connotation. Because to people that believe in various religions, it's a magical thing. Well, to me, it's not magic. It's science that has been misinterpreted as magic by people that perceive it on some level, and they know it's there, but they don't really understand it. So they try to explain it with all these different religious traditions. None of them are right. Primarily because they think of it as a magical thing instead of a scientifically explainable thing, which is explained thoroughly and completely if you go to the right source. And I ain't got time to do that. but I'm not the best person to do it anyway. The best person I know of on the planet to explain the science of this stuff is Ken Wheeler. But it comes down to, like, so if you have to believe that there is some higher entity, then I don't know if it would satisfy that need for you if I told you that there is a universal consciousness, for lack of a better term. I don't know what the appropriate word to call it. The universe, all of reality, all of existence is actually conscious. And everything in it is part of that consciousness and connected to that consciousness. You are, I am. Everyone is a piece of this thing. Now, you may choose to call the universal consciousness God. I mean, if that works for you. But I can tell you one thing. I really doubt the universal consciousness gives two shits about a little speck of a primate on a little speck of a planet in a little speck of a galaxy in an infinitely just not even expanding. It's infinite. There's no reason to think that the universe there's an end to it at any point. Science cannot prove that. That's a whole ridiculous. The whole Big Bang bullshit. They again, that was misinterpretation of data. So a lot of people hear that like they're strictly science people. They're like, oh, well, this guy's got to be part of some cult. No. There is a degree of cultist behavior in the scientific community because they are wrong about certain things. But in general, the scientific method is solid. That's how you prove shit. The problem is you got people with egos and hidden agendas and greed that taints it and makes people do bad shit and present false science. And then they're just basic human dumbass where they misinterpret shit. As far as with the pyramids, well, it's still a bit of a mystery, but because there's hundreds of pyramids in the world. Like, there are so many. People have no idea how much of these megalithic structures are out there. If you truly take the time to really absorb it and figure and learn how much, and understand also that the sea level has risen 400 feet since the time that a lot of these structures were built, right? The sea level rose 400 feet. Most humans live along the shore. So back then, it probably wouldn't have been any different than it is now. So most of that civilization back then got swallowed by the sea because the sea level rose 400 feet because an asteroid hit Greenland about 13,000 years ago and ended a major human civilization that had the capacity to build all of those pyramids and other megalithic structures. There is no way that you can explain how they built that using ramps and levers and brute force, or even floating the stones into place like someone tried to say, well, they floated them into place because the water, but no. That don't make any damn sense. If you look at some of these sites and you figure out, okay, how the hell did they get this? Because the geologists can figure out where the stone came from based on the characteristics of the stone, so they know like it was quarried over here hundreds of miles away, how to get here. The only way this makes any damn sense is if they had the ability to control gravity. So what we're looking at is human civilization was once more advanced than we are today. And they got their dick knocked in the dirt when a big fucking rock hit the planet. Because we couldn't build all this shit today. There's no fucking way. I mean, we might be able to cut, but we might be able to move some pretty big rocks. But to move that many of them, millions and millions of gigantic fuck rocks. Because again, there's numerous pyramids, and one pyramid, what's like the Great Pyramid have? It's like a lot of fucking rocks, dude. There's also the matter of precision. Like some of these cuts and some of the where these stones are sitting next to each other is laser precise. This was not the work of Bronze Age people. This was not the work of even our level of technology. These people were truly advanced and beyond us. There is no way that anyone could come to any other conclusion about how that shit got built other than a more advanced human civilization existed on this planet until about 13,000 years ago, when an asteroid, which have confirmed this, that they found the crater. It's in Greenland. The aging puts it at about that time. Same time, the woolly mammoth and the mastodon and 100 and something other species of megafauna went extinct. A human civilization spanning the planet got smashed and put us back to the Stone Age. But I can't say for absolute fact how they built the pyramids. All I can say is there's no way a person could reasonably believe that they did that with simple technologies, anything simpler than anti-gravity technology. They had to have had anti-gravity technology. That's the only way they could have fucking done some of this shit. If you start diving deep into these ancient sites, there's no way they could have done all this without anti-gravity technology, which is doable, which is a reality. The government's probably got some working really good. Ken Wheeler has some simple devices that cancel out a little bit of gravity. I'm sure chat's gotten way the hell away from me here. No one is old enough to know their ass from a hole in the ground about the pyramids. Judy. Stay safe. Mr. Lee says, I cannot fight back anymore. It makes, if that makes sense. You cannot fight back. You cannot not fight back if that makes sense. I think so, Mr. Lee. Troy says, are the cities burning yet? Not yet. Or is that tomorrow night? Good night, Judy. It still says, wow, total distraction from a question you cannot answer. I wasn't asking a biblical question. I was asking about Bigfoot. But yeah, but you referred to the Bible, and the Bible, I don't believe it to be anything accurate at all. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, you atheists? I guess from some points of view. But the fact that I say that there is a spiritual component to reality, other atheists say I'm not atheist. So, if I'm to go along with Ken Wheeler, who, I believe the science that he's teaching people, which is, of course, correct. He calls himself a monist in that everything is part of the one spirit or the one mind, or what I call the universal consciousness. Everything is part of the one. Monist, root word, means one. So it's kind of a religion in a way, but Donald says, I wish my Wi-Fi was better. Moog's been struggling lately to get people on the show. Yeah, Mr. Lee, man, you need to get on there and be the co-host, man. Mr. Lee says, I have always been confused with the religious stuff. Just saying. Yeah. Well, it's a lot to unpack, Mr. Lee. And all I know is if you've only been taught the religion of your parents and you really don't know anything about other religions or about religious history, or, if you dive down that road, because I did, and you start to see the pattern, and especially if you studied evolutionary biology and you studied the history of world religions, you see that it's the same thing. Life evolves, religious ideals evolve, cultures evolve, things change over time. They split and diverge into two different ones, and then they change and split it further, and then before you know it, you have Protestantism that has so many damn denominations nobody can probably count them at this point, and they all think they're fucking right. They had no idea. Their religion diverged off of, Catholicism at some point, which diverged off of Judaism at some point, and so on, going on back. It all diverged. Islam came off of there too. Islam is basically, if you study enough about world religions, you start to figure out that Christianity and Islam are basically the same damn religion. Read that shit. Read some of the stuff out of their Bible. Like, they got, all the same stories with new twists. They're there. They're clearly related religions, and that can be traced by religious scholars. Question by Mr. Lee needs to come on and play a song on his ukulele. I guess that's how you spelt it. Miss Dill leaving. Good night, Miss Dill. I'll run her off, I guess. Mr. Hughes says Donald Moog's show is a new shakeup for folk who wants to know about his and other thoughts. Moogs is a cool dude. That's how you spelled it. Yeah. Bizarre. He knows all about it. Well, does he, or does he know what they wanted him to know? You know what I mean? They could have been using him the whole time. He could be lying to us too, man. Like, you can't confirm any of that. You know what I mean? You can't confirm it. Donald Fuller says, Mr. Hugh, I totally agree. I have a lot of respect for Moogs. But the other night, Paulie was the only one on there, and I felt bad. I'm walking around the house trying to find a signal that doesn't drop. Woolly Mammoth. Yep, they're cool, Mr. Lee. Can we talk about snowmobiles now? Oh my gosh. Oh, what's up with your internet? It's fucking, yeah. He's talking about Moog's show that went down that snowmobile route. Paulie is a one-man show. Moog's had an easy night that night. Donald says, we have a new neighborhood that was built on my parents' 70 acres, and we have 1960s phone lines for our Wi-Fi. The neighbors all hop on at about 8 p.m. mark, and I lose my Wi-Fi. It sounds like y'all need to get off the dial-up or whatever the hell that's going on. Icon says, just found some Arctic Cat promo vids from 74 that I will be converting and posting this fall. Donald says, Icon, yes, Paulie is one-man show. He mentioned going off, and Moogs said, no, you're not going anywhere. That's when I was trying to go on. Mr. Hughes says, you need to be chin chat talking Donald on Moog show Donald. Donald says, Icon, there's a couple channels with all kinds of them old promotional videos. I think they're funny, at least some of them. Mr. Lee says, a lot of people get on my nerves a bit, just saying lately. Well, yeah, there's always going to be people that do that, Mr. Lee.
You mentioned her. That's who I was going to bring up.
Melba Cutchin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have read some stuff about her. She sent a lot of those samples to what? 7 different labs?
Yeah.
And a lot of them blew her off right when she told them what she thought they were.
Reason why I'm asking that is because I personally know her.
Oh, good. She seems like a great lady.
This is the thing I was going to for this man to understand. Melvin Kitchen was the leading DNA expert in the world, not the United States, but when every name was. And she got involved with a group evidence and sent it to these labs. Stuff that she wouldn't shut up. They the world. The company I like.
Yeah. There's a number of things to think about back on.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it or not very quickly.
There have been occasions throughout Europe and Asia and Africa, but it's an American phenomenon.
Yeah,
primarily. And Alaska, yeah. It's just it makes no sense, you know. It makes no sense because it would have been impossible to hide, you know.
I can
especially if these creatures.
Railroad's not coming tomorrow.
I can give you more proof that it does exist than
He's going to spend time with his grandma.
That it doesn't. If Mr. Mongo doesn't care, I can actually play a sound right now. All right, I'm in Mississippi. This sound was recorded 3 days ago in Mississippi. Are there any kind of large predators in Mississippi that y'all, either one of y'all know of? Before I play this.
You can play it, but I have no idea. I don't know what's in Mississippi. I'm sure there's cats.
We don't even have bear. Now I'm going to play this. This was recorded with a cell phone. Let it hit play. I had to pull up 3 different screens here. There we go. It's loud.
Now you're saying this was recorded 3 days ago?
Sorry, guys. That could be anything. That could be distorted through any means. It's through a simple PA system, fed back through a microphone. You know. I'm sorry. That is not proof of anything. Yeah, that's a weird sound, but it's. I could do that. I could do that in 5 minutes and play it back to you if you want me to. So I just want to know, without annoying anybody, why are you so sure that these creatures exist? Why are you so convinced to the point that?
Yep. So there you have it. Sounds like an elephant taking it up the horse. Yeah. Squatch Cowboy says that still pisses me off. Where should I find? Where can I find the where that sound really came from? Like what? Because I know some. Is there a channel in particular that has it? Like, because I don't know exactly where to. I mean, I could search for it, but I'll be fiddling around forever. Tall One says, I remember this. Yeah. There's old Volt trying to pull his tricks again. Oh, I got proof. He ain't got proof of shit. Even if the sound was really taken in the woods, you don't know what made the sound. Nobody's observed Sasquatch making sounds, so you can't say it's proof of Sasquatch. Is it on? But it is on YouTube. I don't know. I can try to search for it. I guess it's um, at the Sasquatch movie 1970. It's not the legend. Why is the legend of Bigfoot comes up? It was the Pattern Bell Tower recreation. I made that sound with a bell. I don't know if I could do a whole show over a old Bigfoot movie. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how I ran across. I ran across like a low budget movie. I didn't watch the whole thing. I wasn't about to. I can't. I don't know how anyone could sit through this movie. It's so goddamn stupid. But there's some kind of monster in the woods, though. It don't look like what I would call a Sasquatch, though. And anyway, the movie is called "Don't Fuck in the Woods." If you search for it online, you can find it. But actually, I should have mentioned that to Joe because Joe was doing that, B movie kind of thing. He could probably do that with this. Hopefully, not get a copyright shut down. But anyway, every time these people are camping in the woods, and every time they start fucking, the monster shows up, and because the monsters is attracted by people fucking. Sent you a copy a few months ago. Sent me a copy. Um, let me see here. Well, I don't know. Have you sent? Let me see here. A few months ago. Wasn't on Facebook or anything, was it? Icon says, just watching Cowboy, I was going to say it was a clip of the Tarzan yell from the TV show that was manipulated and stretched. That's the moment I knew Vault was full of shit. Oh, just then? Looks like, look on the Sasquatch archives. What the hell is happening? Says Brandy. I think everybody here is asking that same question. Welcome to the chat, Brandy. It's on Tubi. I don't know about that. Mr. Hughes has done all that you be strong. You better stay safe. Peace. On Facebook. The only thing I see on there is the killing Bigfoot. I don't have any messages older than that one, which is what's his nuts saying that he
elaborate on Janice's premonition about you? Just any kind of details?
Well, she's right. I have had to shoot 3 Bigfoot in my life.
Old bear. I have had to shoot 3 Bigfoot. Yeah, right, old bear. Good night, Mr. Hugh. Donald Fuller says, Mr. Hugh, I'm good. Feel fun today. Just got sleep one eye open now. That the vault is going to dust me. Yeah, fucking vault. Yeah, I mean that's a death threat. Is that am I being too? Am I being over the top? Because that sounds like a death threat. You know, he knows he can't just say it too blatantly, but that was blatant enough. He said he wants to dust you. Just woke up. Well, we're all just getting ready to go to sleep, I think. Well, Mr. Lee just woke up, but I'm sure. Yeah, fucking hate going on there, but I got to. Although I'm on a ban right now, I said something to offend the Facebook gods. Yeah, rubbish. Yeah, I mean, dude, like he made like 3 comments that were death threats or threats of violence within minutes, right there at the beginning of that, or not too, pretty close to the beginning. Then later on, he said he called me. What did he say? That Lockbeard doofus. Whatever, Vault. Facebook is rubbish. Vault, rubbish. Everything's rubbish. The world is rubbish, says Icon. DDoS, rubbish. Now you gotta say it right. DDoS. Troy. Sounds provocative. Whatever shall we do? Dark waters. No, it's dark sewage. Dark sewage. Bigfoot Odyssey rubbish. You finally saw the light on that one. Icon says, damn it, I need to go to sleep and I'm having a sourdough craving. Org. Whoops. Brandy says, Who says doofus? How do you spell doofus? I don't know. Apparently, Vault of Nonsense says doofus because he called me that Lockbeard doofus. I showed it earlier. I don't know if I still got it on tab. The damn things where I share the screen, for some reason it's changed the way it works. So now I can't. It makes it harder. I don't know why the hell they changed that or who's responsible for this bullshit. Text rubbish. Yep. Yeah. He probably saw some. He was a kid. He probably just saw some damn coyotes and thought he saw Dog Man. For all we know. Donald says, "Not sure, Brandy. Vault is a soldier of fortune. I have no chance." What, Mr. Lee? See, now you got to pay for your sin, and you got to go get on Moog's show next time he's on and be the co-host of WTF Live from here on out. And we know that you will not betray us and bail out on Moog's to go to Bullshit Odyssey. So there's that. All right, had a little problem there. So I'm back. Stroke or something? No stroke. Brandy says, there are some lurking bitches right now. Probably so. Probably so. Brandy says, "Oh no, where did Doofus go?" Lowe's turned off the internet. No, I ain't Lowe's. I'm at the farm. There's like 3 different internet signals here, so this is pretty decent. But they're not. They hold for this, apparently, but it's not as good as going and borrowing Wi-Fi elsewhere. So a place like Lowe's a lot of times has stronger Wi-Fi. Lowe's will kick you off every so often, though. Like usually, if you borrow Lowe's Wi-Fi, if you're on there a long period of time, like it resets every so often. think they like to kick everybody off on every now and then to clear it out. Randy says, well, all is well in the land again. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Donald, I'm feeding the foxes. Donald says, McDonald's just as close. Well, we sure did veer way off of Darth Vader. That was Mr. Lee's suggestion. He said he wanted a random live tonight, and I said, well, on what subject? And he said Darth Vader. I mean, didn't you find that Darth Vader fight with Kenobi kind of just ho-hum? Wasn't a great fight. So I don't know. It was okay, but they had some badass fights in the prequels, especially. Like when Yoda opened up 12 cannons of whoop ass on what was it, Count Dooku? Like, you didn't expect that little crippled up looking green thing to throw down his cane and just start flipping through the air like a crazy man. Do they come up close, Mr. Lee? The foxes? Squatch Cowboy. Well, I gotta get up at 5. Good night, y'all, and be safe. You too, Squatching Cowboy. Joe Pass. My shower head is Darth Vader. Creepy, man. Obi-Wan Kenobi, good. I'm not buying it, Mr. Lee. I'm not buying it. They woke to fight it. They woke it up to, like, even Princess Leia, shuts old Ben Kenobi down. Man, she don't know anything. She but see, in the woke culture, every man is subordinate to every female, period, even if she's a fucking toddler. Men must be subordinate to women. That's their whole goal. You will bow down and be slave, man. They feed them for life now. Giving them bacon again. Well, they probably like bacon.
Your strength has returned, but the weakness still remains. And that is why you will always lose.
Maybe I am, Miss Lee. All I know is they have destroyed Star Wars. So why do I want to watch anymore? Like, the game's over. It's better just to stick with the old stuff and forget the sequel trilogy happened, forget Solo happened, forget Rogue One happened. You know, same thing like, you know, with like dealing with the MCU, man. The MCU went to complete shit. I'm not, you know, I didn't go watch the Doctor Strange movie here that just came. They just had, because they completely just they've been fucking up the franchise, like in so many ways. So to me, I've decided that the last movie of the MCU franchise is Infinity War, not Endgame. They can fuck off with Endgame. Infinity War. Because Thanos was right. He was apparently the good guy the whole time, and he won. Story's over. Yep, harsh. Donald says, Mr. Lee, what are you going to do when Pops kicks them out? He won't. Very protective fox man. Huh. They almost got their swords twisted. Yeah, that would suck. Rogue One is rubbish. Solo is rubbish. Yeah. I don't know how they could fuck up getting the right actor. There's a perfect actor for that. If they were going to do a Solo backstory, which who even asks for a Solo backstory? But if you're going to do it, you need to get that what's his name, Anderson actor, who's a perfect young Solo. Like he's done Harrison Ford. He's played. I can't remember what it was. He played in something where he was Harrison Ford's character when he was young. Yeah. Yeah, this fight shouldn't even be happening in this video here, Mr. Lee.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it. I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. The same way, I will destroy you. And my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be there together. That's not what happened. They forcing this to be a whole thing, and it just shouldn't have happened. Donald says, I never got past the Empire Strikes Back. The whole conversation, I'm lost. You're better off at this point. You don't want to watch Star Wars, which they now call A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You don't want to watch those 3 movies and become a great fan of them, and then look at the other movies that they made and see how far they fucked it up. It's just better off never to become a true fan of it. I mean, the reality is George Lucas, there wasn't that much of any of his own imagination going on there anyway. He stole a lot of Star Wars straight out of Dune. I mean, the desert planet, and then you end up with the twins, Luke and Leia, who have powerful, abilities. It's Children of Dune. It's Children of Dune, the book Children of Dune, where the twins, brother and sister, they have powerful abilities. They're on a desert planet. And of course, one of the twins, at some point, he merges with the sandworms, and he turns into something that's not unlike Jabba the Hutt. George Lucas got, he got a. He does. People shouldn't think he's as great as they do. Like he stole a lot of ideas from other stuff, which that's all of art, but recognize it. Recognize it. Obi-Wan, fantastic, says Mr. Lee. But Mr. Lee did not know what woke was at the start of this live stream. He may start to become aware of it now. If you go back and watch, you'll see, you compare to older stuff that's been made, older TV shows, older movies, and see how things have really, if you get to looking, it's subtle a lot of the time. They don't want your regular person to notice what's going on, that you're being brainwashed with subtle messages in these shows like Obi-Wan. You cried. Girlfriend did slap. She slaps you. I recognize, says Mr. Lee. Brandy says, I'm taking my booty back to bed. Y'all take care. Good to see y'all. Well, we're going to shut her down anyway. But thanks for coming, Brandy. Donald says, I liked the original Star Trek. Captain Kirk got all the Martian twang. Yeah. All right, y'all. We've been on here almost 4 hours. Because Mr. Lee wanted to...
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Be safe now, says Brandy. Donald, sleep with one eye open. Icon says, good night, Brandy. I'm out of here too. Later, everyone. Night, Lockbeard. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. And, well, I guess we'll see a lot of you tomorrow night. Take her easy.